Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around, who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Good show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
September 8th, we are live from Cards and Culture on this beautiful Friday in Perkins Road. There's a lot of things happening in Perkins Road. It took me 20 minutes to get a parking spot because, I don't know where you parked. I parked all the way on the opposite end, almost into the housing, the apartments. Caroline's Cookies from Lafayette has a little pop-up here, or had a little pop-up. I think they shut it down. Right next to us here at Cars and Culture, and then the ice cream man drove right by. So you had a lot of really good savory treats here in Perkins Road. We're here though. We're fired up about the weekend. Fired up about LSU being able to go back out there and start the process of righting the ship. Obviously, they're playing Grambling State this weekend. You're not going to see a whole bunch from that game that's going to make you feel like, they're back, but what you are going to see is a team that should dominate, and you see some other guys, some other faces on there. I know, Brian Kelly had mentioned about some names that we had talked about early on this week, getting some more opportunity to play. We're going to get into that throughout the course of the show. NFL football started officially yesterday. Thursday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions have a ton of hype coming up behind them. MCDC's got the boys playing really, really, really well. Jared Goff seems like he's a new quarterback since he's gotten there. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. They got a lot of hype. They go in playing at Kansas City as Kansas City's bringing down the banner. And, supposed to be this happy deal. Hey, we just won the Super Bowl, all this stuff. And, MCDC and the Lions spoiled it. A little bit of the Chiefs' fault. But, part of the script. Part of Travis Kelce was out for the first game. That's obviously a ton of production that is not playing, and a ton of production that is not playing, and
A lot of talent on the field last night.
a lot of talent on the field. Like, a lot of new guys, new faces. You know what I mean? You could tell they're ready
New
to
offense.
play. New offense. You can tell they're ready to play. A lot of energy. And
A lot of talent.
I won my first bet.
Mikey is officially the hottest gambler of all time.
I'm back. I'm back. It took me 45 minutes to call my bank
Yes.
to figure out why is this not working? Why am I not getting allowed to upload money? Finally got it all figured out, uploaded the money. It was just, a little bit of a typo and something that was going on. Placed my first same game parlay of the year. I enjoy doing those. I bet Detroit +4 and the under. Both hit. I enjoyed that. I did take a player prop. I'm not going to talk about it. Didn't hit that one, but I'm up money because it was plus money by the same game parlay. So NFL football is back. We're going to talk more about our betting adventures throughout the course of the show. Obviously, we have some picks for this weekend. We're going to get into that. A lot of money's been dished around lately, not just in the NFL, but also here in Baton Rouge. Kim Mulkey becomes the highest paid women's basketball coach in college basketball with a 10-year, $32 million extension. She has given extensions to her assistants as well. Friend of the show, friend of ours, Joe Schwartz, obviously is an assistant coach now. And so I'd imagine he's going to reap some of those benefits, but well-deserved, much-deserved. I'd imagine that, let's say, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, you're going to see probably another restructure of that deal because you'd imagine South Carolina is going to go and try to give Dawn Staley some more money, and then Kim Mulkey is going to win another one and get some more money. So congratulations to her. That's a huge deal for her. It's a huge deal for women's college basketball. She's earned it. The other money that's been dishing around, everybody's been wondering, is Joe Burrow going to play? Yes, he's going to play. Obviously, he said he's ready. They haven't really heard much about contract talks. Media loves to make things out of nothing. Is he not going to sign? What is he going to sign for? Who's he going to sign for? We talked about it. Hey, maybe it's going to get real creative and have this deal. Well, wasn't really creative. It was just pretty straightforward. Hey, 5 years, $270 million, I think, 216 or something guaranteed. I don't know the exact numbers. Obviously.
219, I think.
219 guaranteed. That's over 5 years, though. Just remember, Joe Burrow's, 24, 25? So by the end of this deal, he'll be 30. He'll sign another one.
Well, he's
another big one.
He's a quarterback these days. Let's be honest. Like there's a window till 45 if you really look at it now.
No doubt. And here's the deal. I like what he did, saying, hey, I'm going to sign a 5-year deal. Give me all this money guaranteed. I'm going to make this money. And then at the end of 5 years, hey, the market's going to be way different. Let me redo this thing. Probably after year 3 of this. So he basically reassigned his rookie deal, but just obviously in this huge free agent market. So
I think they also tied up a bunch of it in roster bonuses year in and year out, which is going to help them when it comes to the cap
no doubt.
year in and year out.
No doubt. So they structured it the right way. I think that he did a really good job. He is the highest paid player in the history of the NFL, but I think he is probably still underpaid for what his actual value to the organization is, which I think is good for the team in the long run, being able to pay some of the guys that are already on the team, like Jamar Chase is going to have to get paid next year. Justin Jefferson is going to have to get paid this year. Jamar Chase came out and said, hey, I can't wait for JJ. I'm excited for him to get his money. He's going to set the mark for me so that I can make more money than him. And he's just going to keep doing that. It's just the way
contracts work.
That's the way commerce works, bro.
That's the way love
supply
goes.
demand, money gets higher. This guy gets this one. Okay, this guy's had better, then now he's going to get higher. That's just it. You have a standard, and you get there. They got a lot of football games going on this weekend, if you didn't know. This week too.
Yeah, you talk about the contracts and standards and whatnot. Who just got paid? Was it one of the Bosa brothers?
Well, both
Nick
Bosa
Bosa.
brothers are paid, but the youngest one just got his big deal. He's the highest paid defensive player
And it
in
takes
the
me
NFL.
back to last night, who seemed to think it was a good idea to go to the game but not play in the game. Chris Jones.
Look, honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know why? Because in Chris Jones' mind, hey, I want to play. I want to be here with my boys. I am not separating myself from them. So I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to support my friends, my teammates.
You can support them a little bit. You can support them in a different way.
He goes, I'm just asking for a raise. Employees go to their boss all the time. Hey, I've outperformed what I'm doing. I want a raise. He's asking
But they
for a
show
raise.
up to work that day too, though.
They do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't.
He showed up. He just, not
would-
on the field.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know why I didn't love it? One, because
I don't
like you
mind
said,
it.
here's why I didn't love it. This is my only reason why I didn't love it. I didn't love it because, like you said, it's okay to ask for a raise, but like when you do it while you're not working, it's a little much. Now, secondly, it also wasn't the best look for them too when they walk away with a 1-point win, and it wasn't. You definitely
gave
didn't
up
sit
20
there saying
points.
they lost that game because they didn't have him, right? So it doesn't really hold
and I will say
credence to
this:
him.
I get that. I do. I understand both sides. For me, I was like, it didn't bother me that much. I also think that the defense only gave up 14 points. The defense only gave up 14 points, right? So Kadarius Toney had a rough one. Ooh. I mean, he came across the middle with a slant in his hands, didn't miss it, clank, one-handed interception to the house. Now the Lions end up taking control of the game. They win the game. And, they started to run the ball a little bit better towards the end of the game. So I guess that was where Chris Jones could have helped. A little bit more pressure. Obviously, he led the league as far as defensive tackles goes in sacks. I think he had like 15 sacks as a defensive tackle.
15 and a half, yeah.
Is unbelievable, right? That doesn't happen. The only other person that really puts numbers up like that is Aaron Donald, which is why that's why he wants to get paid. I get what he's saying. I understand it with the football the way it is. He's trying to get his money. But I'm okay with it. I get it. Everybody has differing opinions. It's good. If everybody has the same opinion on the show would stink because then there's no conversation. Everybody says, hey, this is the right thing, and there's no disagreements. And there's a lot of distractions happening here. It's just part of it. It's part of it. Just part of it.
It is part of it.
It's all part of it. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy those distractions. It's okay.
Do you?
But that's the end of our Heineken headlines. We're going to run through the rest of the show. Obviously, we told you we have a lot to talk about. It's a it's a feel-good Friday.
Ooh, that it is.
Yeah. It's we're loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey.
Good Friday.
A little overcast too, and I get peppered with the sun.
I don't know what
it's
the
always
lighting
good for
looks
the
like
pigment.
on me because I can't. Does it look good? Do I look good, Lloyd? Do we look good?
I mean, what's good?
Am I too dark?
The contrast of the studio is great.
Okay, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's all.
You look
I need to
good.
hear.
The light,
Thanks. Just make sure it was dimmed, outside dim. So
usually it's a little sunnier, yeah.
yeah, but
Sunny,
all right.
right?
Let's get to the show. Obviously, we talked a lot about LSU throughout the course of the week. Right? It's LSU. It's Baton Rouge. You got to do it. They stunk last week. There's no way around it. There's a lot of issues we talked about. We don't need to harp on last week anymore. Let's move forward into what is going on this week. One positive thing about this week is the governor of Louisiana has lifted the burn ban. So now you can go out there and you can tailgate.
Smoke as many cigarettes as you want.
Which is great, for the LSU faithful. So that's good.
It is good.
And so it's Grambling State. If I've give everybody permission, if LSU loses to Grambling State, you don't have to show up to another game all year. You can say whatever you want.
Then we can jump ship.
You can jump
You can
ship.
say whatever you want.
can
I'm right
say,
there with you too.
You can say Brian Kelly needs to get fired. Whatever you need to do, right?
Kim Mulkey coached the team.
They're not, whatever. Bring back
Give her a
Coach
shot.
O, whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna lose to Grambling State. But what you do want to see is see a team go out there and dominate an opponent that they should. Take care of business. Get some young guys in there and allow them to get some action and experience and playing time. We talked about what we'd like to see. Brian Kelly had spoke throughout the course of the week and then yesterday in particular about moves that we may see. Zalance Hurd is going to get some reps with the first team at right tackle. That's going to slide Emory Jones down to right guard, which is his natural position, which I think would help the line immensely. Because if you watched last week, we had a lot of issues with our offensive line, and particularly the right side of that offensive line. So I think that's going to help. You're going to see some running backs, maybe some freshman running backs get some look. You're going to see, I think Armani Goodwin is upgraded to probable. I don't know if he's still going to play. Look, tearing a hamstring completely off the bone is
serious.
That's tough. We got Lila, the team mascot.
She probably wants to jump up on my lap right
That's
now.
fine. She can get up there if you want. It's fine. It's probably she will get more views probably because of her.
You want to come up here?
She tried to fight a German Shepherd earlier today.
She's not scared.
She was. Got that dog in her.
She's a tough girl.
LSU could learn something from
She's a
that.
tough girl. Now she's like, Dad, pick me up. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what to do with this wire and then Mike.
This is
There you
cute.
go.
This is the cutest thing I've ever
There you
seen.
go. There you go. Look at
Wait,
that.
no, we're up.
There you go.
You didn't look
She's up.
athletic, but
I'll
she,
take a sip.
She knows how to sit. Yeah, she
There
can
we
There
go.
we
She just wants to hang out with the boys.
You're part of the show. Lila,
Yeah, she just wants to be
welcome
part
to the show.
with the boys.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, let me ask you this though,
Yeah,
for real.
ask me.
So I had JV and Toviano on my show, right? I was with the way the
Your
game
show
was,
Up and In?
Up and in,
Up and In
yeah.
show? Yep, there you
Shameless plug. There we
Yep.
go. Up and in show.
Yep.
Um,
Subscribe.
But
or we kill
What was the reason
dog.
that he wouldn't be in a game like that, or why he didn't get in there? You don't think?
A freshman and it's game one,
Yeah.
probably. If I had to guess anything, I think much sooner than later, you're gonna start seeing him on the field. That's my thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I think unless you saw him go out there and do exactly what Patrick Peterson did, or some of those guys, and he was gonna, you knew, hey, this guy is beyond ready for that moment. Like cornerback and like secondary is a very tricky position to just throw a freshman in there because there's a lot of stuff going on. You're kind of on an island. You have a lot of help. And so
it's a lot more complicated than high school at that.
Right.
And so wasn't he switching position or like playing different packages too? Right?
Exactly. Yeah, he's doing a lot more than just here's an island. You shut it down.
Yeah, and in that game, there really wasn't a situation for him to come in there and put him in. You don't want to put a freshman in a situation where you don't know if he's going to succeed or it's you never really know.
Right.
But like you don't want to set him up for failure.
No, I get it.
And so that's why I would imagine. But I would love to see him get a lot of run this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to see. Some of the other secondary, some of the other guys in the secondary get some run because, look, our secondary was not great. They looked a little bit confused sometimes. Even when they're in zone, it felt like the zone was very loose and not aggressive. So I would imagine you're going to start seeing some of those guys come out. You're going to see a lot more rotation on the defensive line, and obviously the biggest name that's coming back is Mason Smith. We got his jersey.
Yeah.
It's a nice jersey.
Yeah,
it's a nice jersey. I left him up here. They're so nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's the NIL deal that got him in trouble.
When all that came out, I was like, I wanted to do the Bart Simpson into the bush just in case. I was like, I didn't have anything to do with it.
I don't think I had anything to do with you. I think it was before that, right? So,
but he did sign it literally like right after the NIL and everything. Like it got passed and everything, and we did it here. So I was like, oh, hopefully he did all his paperwork and everything. You know,
I think you would have. I think they would have got. You had been contacted already.
I think we're good. I know.
But he's back. I'm excited to watch him. Obviously, the words that they're using was he's giddy to get back on the field. It's going to look good. I think this is a really good game for him to kind of ease his way back into the season. You play Grambling State. You kind of get some of the first little hits out the way, and then you're like, okay, now you can play football. What are you smiling at?
Yeah, I just feel bad for that poor Grambling offensive lineman that it gets him first play because a whole lot of anger is coming out quick.
He's going to go, and honestly, all of the offensive linemen may get it. Because they're going to move him around down the line a little bit, and they're going to scheme him. They've talked about Harold Perkins getting back into the pass rush. I think having Mason Smith back is going to help the pass rush a lot. I think it's going to help Harold Perkins. I think that they realize, okay, I think the betterment of our team this year is probably more important than trying to develop Harold for the NFL right now in game one, right? Like that's going to have to be a progression. If he's not ready for that position, don't force him into it. I think that is a detriment to the defense. So we're going to see something different there. I really want to see new receivers out there. And not because I hate all the receivers we have. Because, look, I think Malik is good. I think he's going to continue to play. I like Malik Neighbors. I think Brian Thomas Jr. has a place. Like, we talked a little bit off air. He has, outside of being a receiver and running routes and making catches, mostly making catches, he's a great blocker. So there's always a place for you in the receiving room and on the field if you can do that. Now, Kyron Lacey had it struggled last week. That was a big game. We've seen it happen before from him. So I would like to see Sheldon Sampson and Kyle Parker and some of these freshmen come in and get some opportunity to say, okay, show me what y'all can do, and we'll go from there. So I'm excited to see that. I know we've talked about this ad nauseum. Before we move on to the other football games that we want to talk about, what do y'all want to see from this weekend?
A goddamn blowout.
Goddamn blowout. You goddamn right.
Tomorrow's my birthday. Dropping that.
Happy birthday!
It's been a plug machine.
So,
Well, up in his birthday tomorrow. I'm not.
I'll let everybody know somehow. I plugged it on my show this morning too.
Venmo is what's your Venmo?
My last name's spelled Ranaugo. Just don't get it wrong on the Venmo.
His
It's
Venmo
Anthony
is
Renato.
Cash App.
That's it. Yeah.
There's a dash in there.
So, yeah, there's a dash in there. Don't forget the dash on Venmo.
It's me and Lila. Like it's a picture. Like
That's
it's
it.
yeah.
Like, look good. It's my birthday tomorrow.
In
so,
fact, we're gonna put it. We'll put it on. We'll put the QR code.
yeah. Put the QR code on there. Yeah.
Make the checkout to cash.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's your birthday. I'm sorry.
I want everybody to be in good spirits. So yeah, I want to blow out so that way everybody's
of
partying
course.
at the end of the night.
Of course.
And we can have a good time. I just like when LSU's fans are in good moods, and LSU football's winning. So
And look,
I think a shakeback game is good.
I think LSU is going to be fine. We've talked about that. They're too talented not to be Brian Kelly has too much experience for them not to be good, not to be successful. You just want to get it. You want to get it right sooner rather than later. I was kind of conversations last night with some guys who were close to the program, part of the program, very closely part of the program, and kind of know how the back end stuff works. And he's like, look, LSU's gonna be fine. They're too talented not to be. Obviously there's some things they need to clean up, but it's not the end of the world. It sucks that you lost game 1, but you can do whatever you want to do here moving forward. So
I'll just add to another. Like I said, I want to win. But
people kind of coming at you as your take.
No. They didn't really come at me. I actually went for all the smoke today.
You had time.
I found a take and went for all the smoke. I didn't really
love it.
Anyway,
actually, the person I was talking to actually sent that link, sent it to me. He said, "Y'all are 100% right," and this person knows the quarterback position, knows football. So
nice.
There you go. But the reason why, another reason why, is because, mind you, realize we went through this whole fall camp, the entire fall camp, where what we thought was going to be who's QB1 conversation coming up all day, and it was quiet, like surprisingly, like super quiet. Lose game 1, quarterback throws for 350, and the only wrong thing we could talk about all week is we need a new quarterback.
And everybody will say, "Oh, well, he threw the 75-yard or 70-yard touchdown. Okay, take that out. He still threw for 280.
Yeah,
270. Like fine.
So I want him to win so we can kind of get off of that nonsense and get back into understanding. Hey, they do put 22 men on the field.
Wait, people were calling for him to be done.
Nah, worse still.
Yeah, people don't like him as a quarterback anymore.
He's not enough.
They're back on the. They don't like Jaden Daniels.
It was quiet during camp because they let it go.
Jaden didn't play his best game, and I think he'd admit that, right? But he wasn't the reason why they lost.
No,
it's easy to point on the quarterback.
If he was the reason, he was one of the reasons.
Right.
He wasn't the only reason.
No, right.
They gave up 40. What was the final score? 40-something points.
When you lose by 20, it's hard for me to say.
I'm saying the defense gave up 40-something points too. Like
I mean,
he would have had to score 48 points. Like,
did he have some mistakes where he held the ball too long and got sacked? Right. Of course, right?
Run of the mill for quarterbacks.
Did he underthrow a guy down the sidelines? Of course. Should the guy have caught it? Of course. It's
part of
sports.
it. Yeah.
Not everything is going to be perfect. Joe Burrow wasn't perfect. Joe Burrow underthrew some balls when he was here, but you know what? The guys went back and got it. You know what I mean? So if somebody makes a mistake, the other guy on the team is supposed to pick him up and make an outstanding play. You're here for a reason. I'm not blaming Brian Thomas by any means.
No.
I'm just going into we're getting hammered about our take. Our take. Let me finish.
Okay. Excited for the weekend.
We're getting hammered from our take, but
he is.
He's ready.
Happy birthday.
He's ready.
This is my birthday tomorrow.
I don't know if y'all know. It's his birthday.
September 9th.
Did y'all hear that? It's his birthday.
Never forget.
At least it's not September 11th.
Yeah, no, that would. Yeah.
That's a tough.
My brother-in-law is the 11th. Though.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, not when he was.
Yeah,
it wasn't tough when he was born, obviously.
it was
just,
good for a
Well,
while.
he was born in 2001.
That's not funny. I can't lie.
Or now it's a realistic thing. 20. If you're born in 2001, you're 20. You're over 21 now. So
there was the guy that took acid on September 11th and saw. Yeah, in New York City.
What?
Yeah, what a wild trip that was.
That must have been.
You may not recover from that.
I don't think so.
Leave it to Lloyd to actually know about this story. Nobody else knows about this story but
That
Lloyd.
person was me. No. 9 years old.
You started early. It's crazy. You got sprinkled into your.
You come a
drink.
long way,
I don't
kid.
know. You wonder
drugs.
why you saw dragons flying into buildings and shit? Fire-breathing dragons is weird.
My God.
They spent a lot on this movie.
There's a volcano in the middle of New York City. It's
Hasn't been to
unbelievable.
New York City since.
He's like, I don't think it exists.
I'm not going back there.
Bad luck.
Out of control.
Oh man. Well, hopefully nobody's on acid watching LSU play football this weekend. Or
Marwan.
Or maybe they are.
Marwan, the second game of the year last year, the guy that wandered onto the field. It's a
Oh, he's
tradition.
back. Maybe he comes back.
Maybe he comes back. We need him back.
Marwan.
Yes.
Marwan. Nobody talks about him enough.
Yeah, I didn't know about it. I don't even know.
Oh,
What
you've seen the video.
Well, I saw the video, but so who was it? Why is his name? That's his
That's
name.
his name. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he says his name is. I don't know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
never know
He's
with
well
Lloyd.
known
You don't
now,
know.
because of
Oh
that.
yeah, his dad is a tenured professor at LSU too, and he has like a
Ricky got tenure.
yeah. I got 15, 20.
Is his dad's still a professor, right?
And
Is Marwan out of school? Did he get kicked out of school?
No,
Okay,
of course
good.
not. You
Good.
got to play the card when you can.
Yeah,
I think
of
the
course.
dad saved him there a little bit, but he has like a legit major. He's smart for
Yeah.
everything. I
Hey,
found his
listen to
profile on
me.
LinkedIn.
This guy.
You could do drugs.
He was, whatever alcohol, whatever he was on.
Maybe he was sober.
Maybe he was. But he said, I'm going to go on there, and he looked casually. That's more of a detriment to people not allowing him on the field. So he gets on the field, and he just sits there. He wanted a closer look. That's all he wanted. That's it. And to look. He
Tired of the
goes out
all-22.
He wanted to see what it was like being the safety at the back end of the field.
Yeah, that's it. So, I think we're going to be good. Hopefully he goes back out there and LSU just, rights the ship again.
Those casual stands.
I think
there's a testament to if you really want to do something like real G's move in silence. If you just kind of act casual, you can get as far as the 50-yard line on the LSU football field.
Hey, that wasn't even let me act like I'm supposed to be here. Right. That was I'm acting casual.
Yeah, I don't think
if you act like the ticket, like where it's like he's just going to a seat. He was like, "Yo, it's on the other side of the field." I'm just
it's way easier if I just walk across. Look, the way math works. Straight line from A to B.
It totally makes sense. You want to know the best part is that like 10 years from now, he'll be able to tell people that like nothing happened here because the way the photo looks at him on the field, it was like nothing actually happened, as if like he was just standing there and this was supposed to be going on.
Maybe they were announcing him at halftime.
Like this was in between right before the second quarter started. They gave him the salute.
They should bring him out for the salute this year.
Everybody would go wild. And he's got to do the same walk, too.
Yeah, the stand.
Yeah, the stand.
Can you imagine if, like, he did that in a big game where LSU, let's say they were playing Alabama last year, right, and they were losing, and he goes on there and does it, and LSU comes back and wins out, like, they'd have made a statue of him.
Oh, 100%.
This is the rally. This is the rally.
He'll have his own action figure here.
He would be on the plane with the team,
no
too.
doubt.
An action figure.
Hey, listen.
I'd be
remember that rally possum they had one year?
He gets that far and he
Marwan.
It's like a Mike Tomlin where he's on the field, makes a tackle.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Nobody talks about that from Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
time out. This just makes me think. I was sitting down watching one day, dude. They had the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce podcast.
Oh, my God.
And Paul Pierce brought up the idea. He goes,
what a podcast that
Hey,
is.
if you ever get a chance to go look at this clip, he goes, hey, one day, it's like I'm telling you, bro, they're going to start selling seats at NBA games where the fan gets to sit in the middle of the bench, like as if he's like part of the team. And they went on a tangent about it.
Well, damn, the fans, you can grab them right behind.
He was like,
I think it's the most
part of the team. It's the most. He was like, bro, it's the most unbelievable fan experience. Like, you telling me a fan wouldn't pay $20K to literally sit in the middle of the bench and dap LeBron up when he came off the
100%.
Somebody's paying for that. I promise you, somebody's paying for that.
Yeah.
As a player, though, I'd say don't fucking do that.
Yeah,
Of course not. Kevin Garnett would kill that man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was the
Imagine
argument.
like KG getting his
Kevin Garnett was
third
like,
foul early and then coming off the bench and somebody dapping him up and him just grabbing him by his neck.
That was an argument. KG was
trying
like,
to
well,
coach him up.
He said all the stars. He's like, all the stars sit at the end of the bench. He was like, that's exactly why they put the fan in the middle for $20K. Look, you're right in the middle. You're not by all the stars. You can sit by the rest of the scrubs.
Well, there's like
he was like, what about when they call a timeout? Do you get to talk? And he was like, hell no, you don't get to talk. He's like, bro, I paid 20 G's, bro. I'm talking.
I'm writing up the plays with coach.
I'm telling him what I'm thinking.
Clipboard.
Go play, dog. Go play.
I'm bringing my own clipboard if I pay 20K to sit on the bench.
it's the Ari Gold. I paid 20K for these seats. I'll jack up a 3 if I want.
Exactly. Yes. That's hilarious. Their seats are already close though on the NBA. That shit's crazy. That's probably why they were talking about it, right?
That's how it came up.
I do want to go to a game this year in New Orleans, and I want feet on the court. Like
feet on the wood?
I want feet on the wood, dude. I don't want the. I mean, we did the court side behind Golden State's bench that one time, which was fire.
Yeah.
But
you want the picture of the wood and the shoe?
Yeah, the shoe. Yeah. Nobody's ever taken that before.
I want the loose ball to come in my hands. Like I want the referee next to me handing the ball on the out of bounds.
Getting some sweat on you from the guys running by.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Shoot it. Would you shoot it?
I'd fucking make it too.
Get a 10-day?
Yeah,
and hold the finish.
I'll make that shit right. Even if I airball it, I'm holding the finish.
Yeah, holding the finish.
I mean, that's a do or die right there.
If
you hold
the finish, it always looks good. Even if you airball, everybody laughs. It's like, that's a good joke.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. He knew his skill level. Yeah, he played it off.
Right. Hey, NBA threes are deep. That's
they are
Euro.
deep.
That's
coming
Euro
back down the court like this. Or
if I make it, do the gritty with the threes.
Do the mellow 3.
I'll tell you what. I'd embarrass myself more trying to do the gritty than if I airballed it. No doubt.
Dapping up fans on the way down like you not a fan yourself.
Oh my God.
That'd be a good time. We'll make it happen.
Get out there, Marwan.
What?
That's how this whole thing started. Marwan lives forever.
Marwan, look.
Legend.
Marwan puts everybody in better spirits.
What's his name? Marwan?
That's what he says. I don't know the guy.
MARWAN.
Yeah, he come by the house.
I believe that's
topic,
right.
too.
That's a hard name for you to make up, you know. But
I thought it was MARJAU.
I was looking at you, wondering where you were going. What letter was about to come out your mouth?
JUAN.
Juan.
can you imagine?
Or Juan. That's so great.
But it's the capital MAR, capital J.
Right. It's got the apostrophe.
Yeah.
Well, he was a recruit.
Oh, wait.
Close out there.
Back to sports.
Just a year early, that's it.
We got obviously not a huge game as far as competitive wise, but a big game for LSU to get this ship right. Not much more we can talk about LSU throughout the course of we've done it through the course of the week, so not much more we can say today. Nothing crazy has happened throughout the course of the last 2 days, so we are going to move on to NFL football and betting because we are degenerates and we love to gamble. And Lloyd, as much as I want to give him shit for buying points and doing things that I don't necessarily agree with, he has been the most successful bettor on our show. Hit the road for 5K. We're doing 5K. We're not.
Oh,
What is it?
Lot of
Road to
pressure.
5K?
So last year was a road to 2K for him, and he got it.
Nice. Like you made 2K throughout the season?
it's a road to 1K, and then we
then
kept
you
it rolling to the road to 2K, and now I'd like to go road to 3K, but he's trying
Okay,
to up me.
okay, 3K. I'm going to go road to 5K. I'm going to go road to 5K.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go road to 5K.
If I had Mikey's units, it would have been I might have retired.
I'm going road to 5K for me. You go road to 3K for you, right?
And these are $10 and $15 bets.
Yeah, so they're small. So he's winning at a high rate. He buys a lot of
New
points.
season though, we'll see.
Right? I am
Lloyd.
A road Mikey.
I'm
I was
officially
Hey,
out
you're
with
my
you.
guy. I don't know football, so
Hit me up.
I'm listening.
I'm
Sticking with
officially
you, baby.
up
I'm
this
listening.
year.
Well, he'll be buying a lot of points. So just,
Yeah.
I buy I love the move. I do that in basketball a lot.
When everybody's cussing, you just have to sit back and smile.
Yep.
You're like, oh man, that's Chuck.
And maybe
Shit.
maybe
Damn
you
it.
sold me.
Vegas is so good. Good thing I bought my points.
Lloyd also tells his blackjack dealer to hit on 17. So
Yeah.
just, that's the guy.
And I buy the insurance.
Every time.
He's that guy. So
I don't even know what that
throwing
means.
it out there.
Well, maybe I'm not going to listen to anything you say, but I said maybe through the course of the year I may take some of your bets. I'm happy with what I did. Same game
I took
parlay
yours
hit.
yesterday. What a good-
You took my
good
advice.
team,
We
same
won.
team.
We're going to move on
What'd
from
you take
that.
yesterday?
We did.
Same game parlay. The Lions +4 with the under.
Nice.
Both hit. I wanted to do Lions money line, but I bitched out and it worked out. And honestly, Lions was great that they won. That pick six obviously was the reason why they won. But a win's a win, baby. Yeah. And
Before we move off,
I did have Amon-Ra St. Brown
anytime touchdown.
first touchdown score, and I didn't do it, and he did it. But that's what happens. It's easy to say it after
What was
the
the?
fact.
What was the?
I don't remember. But
Wow.
yeah.
That would have been a good one.
I had Gibbs and someone else to score a touchdown. And Gibbs would have scored on that first play when he slipped. Going outside, he was taking
I
it to the
got
house.
off the couch. I saw it coming, and I only saw the slip out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, no.
The running back.
And then he thought he was in college. He didn't want to. He was like, "Wait, why is everybody still trying to tackle me?"
I didn't see the rest of it because as soon as I saw him bounce it, I'm like, touchdown. And I saw him slip out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh no.
The two-headed
they took
monster
him out the
between
game.
Montgomery and him. It looks like they'll be pretty good. They both looked really good last night.
And I would imagine he's going to get a lot more involved too. But they look good.
And Chris Jones not playing, obviously.
They look good.
Hurt. They look great.
They look really good.
They played physical, which you knew they were going to do with Dan Campbell. All right, Lloyd, what do you say before we move on? What?
I just wanted to see, obviously, the big talk of the town and what we talked about with LSU, with Jaden Daniels. I would say played well. He had over 400 yards of total offense. But considering who they're playing, how much run do you think Nuss gets tomorrow?
Well, hopefully Nuss gets the whole second half.
Yeah.
Or
Or do you see Ricky?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because the more he plays, the more you kind of fan that flame.
But here's the deal. If Jaden Daniels goes out there and they score 35
straight
points
touchdowns.
by halftime, hey, he's got 3 touchdown passes, they have 2 rushing touchdowns.
That's a great point.
And
that's the conundrum you're in. If he goes out there and they're up, let's just say they're up 35-7 at the half, and he's thrown 3 touchdowns and run 1.
Or not even run 1. Throw 3 touchdowns, 2 30-yard touchdowns down the field, and then the running backs and then 35-7 or 35-3.
And he's out.
You're done.
And then the next half, Nuss comes in and does great. How are you going to clamor that whole
Right.
conversation again? You know what I mean? That's the
Which is a very realistic possibility.
Yeah, of course it is. I don't. Here's. If I touch on this thing again, when my quarterback doesn't play
Touch it, feel
well, and my quarterback plays a bad game, it's very comforting to me to know that he threw for about 60+% and almost 400 yards
in a bad game.
in a bad day. Like that, I
With three
like
big
that.
drops. One drop was probably going to be a 40, 50-yard touchdown catch. Kyron Lacy catches it. There's nobody around him. He scores.
I like those, but seemingly
4 big drops, actually.
Seemingly, that's not where the consensus is.
Well, here's the deal, and I know drops happen, and it's football. Everybody's not going to be perfect. Kyron Lacy catches that ball. It's 50, 60 yards. That's another touchdown.
No one talks about that one either.
Changes the whole complexion of the game, right? Okay. Brian Thomas, he underthrows that one. We've talked about that a ton. People will say, oh, he's got to make a better throw. Sure, he's got to make a better throw. But the receiver's also got to make the catch. You can't make an excuse because, the throw is bad. The ball's still there. So Brian Thomas goes back and catches it. Let's say he doesn't score. That's still another 40, 45 yards added to it. So that between those two plays, probably 100 yards more passing with a touchdown. Right. And then let's say he does get it because the cornerback's going this way. Brian Thomas comes back to catch the ball. Yeah. More than likely, he's going to catch it. Unless the guy interferes with him, he's going to catch it and probably score a touchdown.
Can we just, since you played some quarterback in your day, since I played some quarterback in my day, since I played also a little bit of receiver in my day.
Play a little bit, not like you though.
Can we just get on the same page or something? Because I don't think a lot of people really truly understand this thing right now. If I went to any said high school in Louisiana right now, and there is a sophomore who is not on the varsity team that drops that same pass, what are you going to tell him as a quarterback? Not really what are you going to tell him, because you probably don't even have to tell him. What's going to be said to him? What's going to be the overall consensus of everyone on that field?
You got to catch that ball.
Catch the damn ball.
Right? You got to catch it.
And I would also hope if you're a good team, if you got a good coach, your quarterback coach or your OC is also in your ear as the quarterback saying, hey, put the ball out there.
No doubt.
Let him run under it.
Hey, he's got to catch it, but you've got to do this better. Yeah, I know.
So
great.
People need to understand, no, I'm not at all absolving him of that throw. No. But when you make it to LSU and you sign that letter of intent, those plays got to be made. And this is really that simple. And Brian Thomas will tell you
and
the
we're
same
not
thing.
trashing Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas will tell you the same thing.
No
doubt. No doubt. But my point of that is, to your answer, if Jaden Daniels, which I think is a very real, that happened last year. You go out there, the game's over by halftime. Okay, now you get the run between. Look, the way I would like to see it is, okay, scored 28, 35 points, whatever it is, into halftime. Jaden Daniels has a great day. You're done. Nuss comes out there, has a great third quarter, throws for 100 or so yards, 120 yards, maybe a touchdown or two. You're done. Ricky Collins gets in the game. He gets to play with this. Like, that's how you would like to see it play out.
Yeah.
Right? And then, okay, now everybody's got an opportunity to get into the game and have some run and be able to feel it. You're at first home games. You want everybody to experience that. That's where I think's going to happen. That's what I would like to see happen. I think that is a very realistic possibility of happening.
In an ideal world, too, is the way this thing really works is if you get Jaden Daniels to go out there and have a great first half and he's done by the end of the first half, and you get Nuss to go out there and have a great third quarter and he's done by somewhere in that time, and Ricky gets to get on the field too.
Job well done.
That kind of play only elevates your starter, right? Because now he knows, I'm sure he still knows, but it's also something different when you see it in the game like, hey, bro, we can't sit on your butt. Them boys are ready and they playing.
Coming, dude.
It only elevates it, right?
And
so like this is what you want.
And here's the noise
and
from
if
the
it doesn't,
outside.
then it says something
Exactly.
even.
And if it doesn't and it goes the other way, then it says, well, now we know why he is the starter.
And here's the deal. Last year it kind of went the other way, right?
People forget about that. That's what happened in the Southern game.
And Jaden elevated his game. I imagine Jaden's going to continue to elevate, right? It was a bad game. Get over it. Like, shit happens. You don't want it to happen. Shouldn't happen, maybe, but it happened.
And it doesn't mean call for somebody else's or call for somebody's head.
Everybody has had a bad game
Yeah.
or a bad day or done something. It's how do you respond from that, right? Just having the best quote that I always got, I got from a guy who played in the big leagues for a while. He was my hitting coach, and I was a perfectionist, still am. Like, I want my swing always to feel perfect. I want it to be, I want to do everything that I'm trying to do. I want it to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Doesn't always work that way. And then sometimes you go through a slump and you feel like you're doing everything completely wrong. You look like an idiot. Nothing makes sense. And the quote was, you're never as bad as you think that you are, and you're never as good. When you're playing your best, you're never as good as you think you are. And when you're playing your worst, you're never as bad as you think you are. Perception is what is how, or the stats on the field and how, just because you had a couple good games in a row, like, you perceive like, oh, I'm like hitting on all cylinders. Then you go look at film and you're like, oh, well, I'm actually just a little off when I wasn't playing great, as opposed to when I'm playing great. The margin is this big, right? And so to me, it's like if you're going to get mad at one guy for having a bad game one time and not giving him an opportunity to get through that, that's unfair. Now, if he gets through that, if he continues to have bad games, you have every right to be that way.
Right.
So that's kind of my thought on this whole thing. It's just, and look, you're not going to really know until you get to Mississippi State probably, right? Okay, hey, let's see the progression of what he's done.
Through Mississippi State.
Through Mississippi State. I mean, it's a road SEC game, so it's going to be tougher than Grambling State.
That's why I say through, because,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta get through it.
Right. So.
And you almost have to strategically think about when you put Nussmeier in. If Jaden Daniels, hopefully he plays well and everything's fine. If it goes, I've been to Tiger Stadium a ton. I know what those people are like. I know how that crowd can be. If he goes 3-0 on the first series, God forbid, it's that the boo birds are coming.
Like, oh, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As a coaching staff, I would hope you wouldn't cave then, but yeah.
Yeah, and then if it goes well, you almost want to play him a full half, and then you kind of sneak Nussmeier out there, so it's not this big reaction to where Jaden's like looking around like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Like they obviously the most popular person in the room for a fan base is always going to be the second string quarterback if you don't have somebody that you feel like is the best quarterback in the country.
Well,
and LSU has always been very vocal about that when you can go back to 2008.
Yeah.
Until 2018.
Yeah.
The grass is not always greener.
Right.
But I think Nuss is going to be great when it's his turn.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think that there's you almost have the fact that you have to almost play politics, and I don't think they care about the fan base at all, which they don't. I'm just more worried about.
They care, but not in that way.
Right. They're worried about the psyche of their players, and I think if Jaden Daniels goes out there and plays well, you almost want to see him for at least maybe a full quarter. You don't give them the opportunity to see Nussmeier come in, crowd gets excited, and then you're just like, what the hell?
For people to not understand where I think I'm going to say this, and I think I could kind of speak for all four of us here in this room at least. Our take on this situation is I wouldn't be surprised one bit at all if Nuss is a better pro prospect than Jaden Daniels is.
Right.
That does not mean that on September 8th, 2023, Nuss gives you a better chance to win right now.
Right.
That's the difference of this thing right now. And I'm not sure if people understand, like, that's where we are with this.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I think the coaches see more than we do.
They see it every day. That I can't stress that enough. Like, you see it every day. If you're seeing something different at practice and you continue to go the wrong way, then there's something else going on.
So does that group of players that all suit up with him, that all, they see everything that he does. They know every play call that's called, and they all decided at the end of the year last year, like, hey, this is our team MVP.
Right.
Voted him team captain this year.
Kind of hard for that guy to not be his starter, right? Voted the team captain the year after. Yeah. Something tells me he's doing something right outside of just not throwing it deep every time.
No doubt.
That's all.
No doubt. We'll see. We'll see.
Road 4
TBD.
verts.
TBD.
Hail Mary.
That's mad.
Trios.
No.
LSU, obviously, the biggest game of the weekend, though, that in college football is
She's gonna jump.
Texas at Alabama, right?
Texas is the favorite, huh? Or is Alabama?
Alabama's
okay.
favorite.
I thought
Alabama's
somebody
favored by
said-
7.
Okay. I thought somebody
I'm
said
interested in seeing that game too.
And look, Quinn Ewers is the quarterback for Texas. Quinn Ewers played unbelievable last year before he got hurt.
I didn't change the camera.
What's that?
I said I didn't change the camera because I thought that might happen. Star.
Smile.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers gets knocked out.
Played lights out before he got hurt, right? And they're winning. I feel like
And it was lights out.
you don't know, right? Then it was lights out. You don't know if he's going to, if they were going to win. It seemed like they were on that trajectory. Now, a whole year later, Texas has some momentum. I'm not going to say, oh, is Texas back, because that's the most overused term ever, right? And every time you say that, is Texas back? They're never back. And, whatever. But
Why does everybody always want Texas to be back in every sport? Like in baseball, I feel like every year they're like,
Yeah,
oh, they're
baseball.
back. They're back. Like, it's like they compete. Like, they're there.
Yeah.
Like, what, like, can we just accept it?
it's okay. Like, listen.
Yeah, they don't have to be the top
when
five
they
in
come,
everything
I guess
all
because
the
they're a
time.
power and like the
Texas.
name
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
huh?
How many?
Is she
Historically,
gonna try to jump up there? She wants to. She's gonna try. I hope she doesn't.
I think she can
try
try.
to think of
She's a crazy athlete. Let's see if she can do it.
She thought about it.
She thought about it.
How am I going to get to the second one?
I think, dude, it's pretty crazy. If those beer cans weren't there, she would be all in it.
Oh, she's making a move.
She's gonna get a little momentum. Look at her. See, look at her. My girl can do it.
Wow.
None of the cameras caught that, but look at her. She's like,
now you're there for the entirety of the show, though.
She got that
there.
Zion second jump
She's there.
right
Yeah.
She's off the floor quick.
Second element. Yeah. She just wanted to go take a nap. She's gonna be passed out for a little while. Giving us the dirty look. Sorry.
What do y'all like? Do y'all like that game? Do you like Texas +7? Do you like Alabama -7? How do you think the game's going to play out? Listen, Alabama has a lot of new faces. New defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback.
Give me the all info because I need to bet on it.
I like
Quarterback looks
Alabama.
solid. He can run. He's very athletic.
Who?
He's a big dude.
Alabama?
Milrow.
I like Alabama, but not covering though.
Not beating
Not
them by
covering, maybe a close
so
game.
Squeaking it out.
Yeah.
Maybe a field
Inside
goal
of-
at the end or
yeah.
something, or
6-7 point
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So you're taking Texas +7.
4-point game,
Yeah.
7, 4 to 6.
The over/under I think is 54.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that one hit the over though.
Is that high for college football?
No.
Nah, I don't know, man. And the reason why I say I don't know. In the past, no. This year, maybe because of the clock change. Maybe.
Okay.
So I guess we're still kind of trying to see that one a little bit, but maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, it's the old Alabama adage, right? You feel like every time you bet against them, you feel dumb whenever they cover and win. And you're like, well, why did I bet against Alabama?
Right.
And especially in this circumstance where it's a Texas team, like you said, they always think they're back. And it's only Texas that's saying that. There's nobody around the country that is really following that, that moniker with them. It's just Texas telling you, we're back.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They're
okay.
just starting that narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you look at those two teams and historically what's happened in the last 20 years, that you kind of feel foolish if you bet on Texas and they're down 30 points in the fourth quarter and you're like, why did I do that?
Agreed.
7 points is not enough.
So you're taking what history showed you over the last 20 years or 15 years that you're going to take Bama +7?
I think
-7.
I think it's more. I'm more interested in the under just because of the way that I think. And I don't know if you got a great test case of it last week, but what Alabama wants to do on the offensive side of the football is kind of chew you up and spit you out. It's not a lot of Jalen Monroe's an explosive athlete.
It's going to be old school Alabama.
It feels like it's going to be like a rotation of running backs. Jalen Milroe likes to run the football, and then they always will have a defense as long as Nick Saban can breathe. So it feels like that's kind of what if they get into it like a air raid back and forth gun show. Maybe Texas has a chance because you want to put faith in Quinn Ewers. New haircut, Quinn Ewers, kind of sold out, but.
You're a little mad.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll carry the
pouring down rain outside.
I'll carry the torch.
It's about to pour.
Yeah.
Or is it already?
I think it's coming.
But that's what because I think a lot of people are putting so much stock in what Quinn Ewers did in a half of football last year, and then you never really saw him again. So that's where I would lean towards Alabama. Right, but. You don't know
you didn't get to
it,
see the adjustment. You didn't
right,
get to
you
see
didn't
the
get,
second half.
It kind of felt like it punched Alabama in the mouth a little bit, and they're like, oh, wait, he's for real, and then you never saw him again, so Alabama never got to punch back. And the way that game ended with, we had Bryce Young pretty much put the team on his back and win the game.
For sure.
But Texas lost a lot this year, and so it feels like people are just riding that wave, and it's at Bama.
Yeah. So you're going Alabama +7. That's
It's at
what you
Bama?
like.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was at Texas. Oh.
So Bama +7.
And the
-7.
-7.
I think I'm going to buy points on it. I'm taking a -2.5.
Yeah. Or you can
The over/under is
Tease it.
54.
Ooh, I
so
like
you're going
that.
to take the 54.
Yeah.
You like the under 54?
Oh, I like the tease.
Get it to 60 and -1.
Get it to 60.
Dude,
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards you. Definitely the -7. I think I'm going to take Bama.
It hurts you to say that when you
Yeah, I
do
know.
this. Yeah.
But
But I'm not taking the tees. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm going to take Bama -7.
people don't learn.
I'm gonna
I'm going to take Bama -7. And
It's not a bad idea.
Just hearing you guys, I'm like, in my head,
take the
I'm like,
under.
I'm taking Bama -2.5. I'm like, they'll win by 3.
Because I can see a road where this thing does
Close.
a little dicey at the end.
Yeah.
I can see a road to that.
okay. What do you got on Colorado and Nebraska? Colorado's favored by 2.5 at Nebraska.
I got
at Colorado.
I'm
This is at
so
Colorado.
mad
It's their
that-
first home
Colorado.
game. Yeah.
Is that Colorado?
I'm so mad. I didn't know that it was +800 money line last week. I was up in Chicago. I was out of it, but if I would have known that, I would have thrown $50 on that.
They're 20-point dogs.
I know, but yeah, I just would have thrown 50 for fun because
Yeah.
Dion. I would just been like, yeah, why not?
I did take Colorado +20. Obviously, I felt like that was a high
Nice.
number.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
won.
Yeah.
They did whatever. So
I don't know. They're ranked.
They're ranked now?
22nd. Shedeur Sanders, like earliest mock draft in the history of mock drafts. That after week 1 had Shedeur Sanders in the top 10 of the draft next year.
What? Was it a legit mock draft or somebody
it was
just
like,
was like
I don't know who, but it wasn't like a. It was like a
decent,
a
real publication. Yeah.
Who was it?
He also is.
Kuiper.
He's also top. I gotta double check. But
He's
top
a first
10,
round quarterback.
but he's also top 10, I think, in Heisman odds.
Oh, no doubt.
yeah.
Like,
He's gonna put up.
his stats were stupid, obviously.
He's going to put up unbelievable numbers. The way he controlled the offense and what he did, he never looked like he was confused or didn't really know what he was trying to do. He played unbelievable. Threw for 500-something yards. Had a complete. I think he completed 9 or 10 passes all game. And so, I think that he's going to continue to put up those great numbers. Obviously, the whole big question is Travis Hunter. I was going to call him Jordan Travis, but Travis Hunter.
The guy that
does both ways, right?
I almost said goes both ways.
I did say that. I just said that.
I thought you said does both ways.
He's a receiver and a cornerback. Played every snap on the defense and played majority of the snaps on offense. Can he sustain that production all year? Who knows? But I'd imagine game 2 he's going to sustain it. So I think I like Colorado 2.5.
I'm interested to see how Shedeur does in this game. So apparently there was another story about not too long ago, Shedeur went to a TCU camp or a camp with the TCU coaches added, specifically TCU's OC, and got no love from that OC. No conversation. He didn't even talk to him the entire time. So
he was
that one was
a little bitter.
Yeah.
So I want to see what turning around in game 2 and it's not, have all of that invested into it.
Okay.
Looks like.
Okay.
I like that. He had a little fire under his ass.
Yeah.
You want to see it, so you didn't have that extra.
No,
edge?
it looked real. I want to see it.
Yeah.
It looked
Let's
as
see the
real.
follow-up. Let's see the follow-up.
Yeah, he looked like, you know what I mean? Like if I see a guy go out there and shove, it looked real. Let me just see you do it.
Right.
Yeah, do it again.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Just do it again.
Lloyd, what do you like? Do you like won that game?
I just think that the line is such an overcorrection for what it would have been before the first game of the year that you saw to get it at +3. Feels like it could be a Nebraska, like if you take Nebraska.
I have it at 2.5 right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Action Sports Network,
Okay.
but the fact that Nebraska is catching points, and if you obviously you have to put some stock in the game that you saw last week, but a lot of this is overreaction, which everybody does after week 1 to everything. Like, I mean, look at the NFL. Look at the narrative around Patrick Mahomes. Like, oh God, they don't have any wide receivers. Can they like?
Well, they don't.
I know that.
They didn't last year either. They still hoisted.
Exactly.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a small sample size, and I was impressed by Colorado too. But that was also an instance where you have Deion Sanders as your head coach in your locker room, hyping you up as if it's the national championship because you're trying to put the world on notice.
Are you gonna do that again though?
It's hard to bounce back from that emotional high. They're lucky it's at home and a night game. Those two things do play a factor.
No, they'll do that again.
Not a night game.
It's 11 a.m. 11 a.m. game. Gus Johnson, he'll be there.
I like that though.
Me too.
Gus
wakes me up in the morning.
Gus seems like he is perfect for Colorado.
It's a Hollywood breakfast.
Yep.
But I also think that Matt Rule is a great college coach, and the fact that they keep games close but can't win, and they held Minnesota to 13 points. I think that you could probably see either a Nebraska win, but certainly if you buy half a point, maybe a cover.
Okay,
I'm going Nebraska.
You're going Nebraska.
I'm going to lean the other way. I'll push against Prime.
Okay. Do you like the over/under? I think is 58.5.
Under.
You like the under? So you're a big under guy right now. It's been big under. Okay.
God,
Selfishly, I'd like to see this thing I'd like to see him kind of win and cover and get this thing to a nice, I think it's week 4, maybe week 5 matchup
USC?
against USC.
Yes.
Oh,
Like
me
to
too.
see
I
that.
want
Two
Colorado.
Game day's there. If that's
So I said
if that,
selfishly, I'd like to see that happen.
I
too.
want Colorado to win. I'm just trying to play what I think is the number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other game I want to talk about is Ole Miss, Tulane. That's there's 2 ranked opponents playing each other this week.
Ole Miss at Tulane, right?
Ole Miss at Tulane.
Okay.
Tulane's probably biggest home game, and
They're sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out. I mean,
You'll
the
be-
Fritz, the coach, came on, did his little deal and said, "Stop asking me for tickets. Sold out. Oh, I just need one. It's sold out. I just need one.
Sold out.
Sold out. Stop calling me. Like,
Just come to the game.
yeah, just show up.
Walk in.
Just try.
Figure out.
Someone will be selling,
Yes.
not me.
Yeah.
That line
Right.
is
We don't have
7.5.
It's crazy.
7.5. No,
Ole Miss is
7.
getting the
It's
7.
7.
Ole
It's
Miss is
7.
getting the 7, right?
And it's
Ole
fallen to
Miss
6.
is
where I'm
favored by
looking.
7 points.
Wow, 7. Didn't
At
they put up like
Tulane.
70 last year? I mean, last week?
Tulane's got
At Tulane?
Tulane's ranked.
Yeah. You got a good
Ole Miss
quarterback, right?
ranked. Tulane's got a good quarterback.
Right.
Ole Miss obviously is Ole Miss. You know what they've got there.
I feel like Lane.
It's the second match. It's the only other top 25 matchup outside of Texas, Alabama. I'm not falling for it. I'm taking Ole Miss.
I was about to say I'm taking Ole Miss in that.
Me too.
I'm taking Ole Miss. I think they're going to beat them by 10 points at least. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but you also have to think like, hey, if Tulane's trying to make something happen towards the end of the game, that's kind of how you get some of these. I like Ole Miss 10 points. I also like that's a high over-under.
It should be
66.5. I know.
Sometimes they can't set it high enough.
60.
I think
So
I
they
like
throw
the
out a
over.
crazy
I
number,
think I like
yeah.
the over. No, actually I don't. Let me tell you why.
I'm fading that one. I ain't gonna
Let me tell you. I don't like the over. I think Pete. I think Pete Golding's got Ole Miss's defense a lot better than they have been in the past, and I don't think Tulane is going to score at the rate that they had in the past. I think Tulane's gonna have a great season. This may be Tulane's only loss of the year. I just don't think they're gonna beat them. Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss.
I would take Ole Miss. I would fade the total points on that right there. And I'm with you on that. It's either going to be, which I don't really think it's going to be, it's either going to be a blowout or you'll see Ole Miss pull away late and get to that touchdown to 10-point lead. And there's your game.
I like it.
But wait, who's the favorite?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss the favorite.
Getting 7 right now.
God, they both played. I mean, they didn't play any. I mean, South Alabama's better than Mercer, but I don't know if Tulane has the horses to run with.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, look, in Tulane, Tulane lost Tajay Spears.
Right.
Like, they lost some guys from that team. They have their quarterback back, and Willie Fritz is really good. It was Willie, right? Willie Fritz. He's really good. He's a really good head coach. They have a lot of momentum. It's going to be a sold-out crowd. It's going to be in New Orleans. So it's going to be very energetic.
Tulane fans have no idea what's going
It's
on.
still
and Tulane and SEC, right? Like, I mean, like, there's got to be some merit to that, right? The
a lot of people are, that's where my brain goes. Is you would think SEC is the first thought, but Ole Miss doesn't really have that. But Pete Golding is a great point. They don't have that they're stiff defense. It's kind of like a Pac-12 offense, which is why people are thinking USC Tulane last year.
Right.
Tulane, unbelievable.
I agree. I just don't see. I mean, I think that Ole Miss's defense is going to not allow them to score. Let's say Ole Miss scores 35 points. That means Tulane's got to score 32 points to cover the over, right? Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to score that many points off, like on Ole Miss, on a Pete Golding defense. That's what I'm saying. A little biased, but
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
So I'm hearing Ole Miss -3 and the over/under at 7.
Oh, you're taking the
under at 7.
We do a 5-team teaser. We'll put one together.
Let's go.
That's
And
when
the
it
last
starts
one,
to make
'cause we-
sense.
I'm gonna be texting you later tonight. Let's go.
The last one we talked about on Wednesday that we were going to talk about today is Oregon and Texas Tech. This one's the ratty one for me, right?
Are we on the same page?
Huh?
I think we're on the same page.
Oregon's the rat. This line's very smelly because Oregon played really well last week. Texas Tech did not. Texas Tech gave up a lead, lost to Wyoming.
Okay. Up 17-0.
Wow.
They were up 17-0 to Wyoming. Wyoming came all the way back and beat them.
Holy shit.
At Texas Tech.
In overtime.
In overtime. 2 overtimes. So
Went for 2.
now Oregon is coming down to Texas Tech, and they're favored by 6. Oregon's ranked, so they're 13th in the country. They're at Texas. The 6 points seems like it's not enough. It makes me feel like, oh, this is easy. We're gonna take, I'm gonna take the
team that just put up 80.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna take Oregon to win.
But I'm not so sure they know something. Like, you're
The
right,
book's always
overreaction. The
is a
Lions seem to
massive
overreact. This
overcorrection.
is not an overreaction. If it was an overreaction, I feel like Oregon's line would be way higher because they scored a bunch of points and Texas Tech was not good.
Right.
It's not. So that just makes me feel a little weird about it.
I feel weird.
I feel weird.
I feel weird.
But I'll take
Welcome to the party.
I'll take Oregon to cover right here. I would.
Okay.
But I do think you'll sweat it out. If you take Oregon to cover in this game, you'll sweat it out, and you'll reap the benefits of it after.
I don't know. I'm looking at this. I don't think there's any other games out here that have upset potential, that are
Baylor.
Huh?
Baylor is an interesting game.
Baylor is an interesting game. That's also a ratty one too. Mm-hmm. What do you like on that? It's 6 or
It's
7?
8.
It's 8 points now. I got up to 8.
I have, and I'm also taking Texas Tech.
I think that's what I'm gonna take too.
I bought it up to 7.5, and then Baylor up to 10.5.
You teased both of them.
No, it's just
You
I
just
bought
bought.
points.
You bet them individually and just bought points. Okay. What's
you
the
go-
odds? What are the odds on those?
Minus 154 for Baylor, minus 157 for Texas Tech. So it's
It's
not really killing
not
you.
Terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like it better than that, but
Those points are valuable.
I mean, I know that. I mean,
You know how
brought it up?
how they determine the game?
What
what
was that?
was it? What points?
Points.
What was it? What was it before you bought points?
I don't know. Didn't even look.
So you just bought them just off a whim.
I just go to the number. When it's 7.5, if you lose by a touchdown,
We
still
got
cover.
an SEC. We got an SEC late night game. SEC after dark. Auburn's going to Cal.
Oh, also got Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt plays that morning game. They play 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern against Wake. You got Vanderbilt over Wake Forest. Mm-hmm. What's the
11
line?
a.m. Eastern.
10.
Noon Eastern, right?
No, 11 a.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. It's because right here it says 10 a.m. So that means it's 11 a.m. Eastern.
How? I thought that's
Yeah, they're playing at 10:05. I don't know why. But that was
At Wake Forest.
Yeah, it's been a weird.
You like that? You like
You
Vanderbilt?
like that?
You like that?
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt's good. Like for what Vanderbilt's been, I still think there's a stigma around him. But seeing their coach and what he did last year, and they're kind of building off that, and you're giving me 10 points, I'll roll the dice.
I was high on Vandy. I'm not saying
I'm
they're going to have
listening to
a huge year, but I thought they were going to be a lot better. There was 3.5 wins or something. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to be over that.
They only have to win.
Just like Colorado was going to be over that. I didn't bet that.
Yeah,
Well, because I had the issues with my account. You know what I mean?
okay. You bet with your heart though. Like you know it up here. That makes you a good gambler. You can internalize that. Like I knew I was right. I would have.
Yeah, I knew I was right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch that one. I don't really know. I got to see more from Vandy. I am high on them, but at Wake Forest, early morning game.
Vandy lives at 11 a.m.
Yeah, this is 10 though. So
Yeah. Oh,
that 1 hour makes a
they're
big
smart
difference.
kids.
I'm so confused. How is this a 10 o'clock start?
I don't know.
So is the game day going to be going on while
It's
the
on
morning game day is
ACC
going to be
net-
going
it's-
on?
It's on the ACC network.
It's 10 o'clock our time,
I think it's 10 o'clock.
so it would be
can't
11 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, it's got to be 11 o'clock Eastern if it's 10 o'clock our time.
That's what I'm saying. 11
But yeah,
Eastern,
but
10 our
the
time.
game day would still be going on. 'cause
Game day would
doesn't
still be
goes
going on.
till
No
12,
games
yeah.
start until after game day starts, right? Like the first game started at 11. I'm pretty sure it's got to be 12 o'clock there.
Unless they made a typo.
I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I've never. The only reason I'm saying this is because I don't remember seeing that. I feel like game
Game
day goes on
information.
until
10 a.m.
the first game
September
starts,
9th, 2023.
Central Time?
Ain't gonna be Eastern. Ain't gonna be 9 a.m. Central. We're not playing in London.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
So it's 10 a.m. Yeah, people have been talking about this all week.
Really?
Like that it's a 10 a.m. kick. I don't remember the reason, but because I was stuck where you were stuck. Like, how is this going to work?
hey,
Yeah.
But football's on.
Vandy 3.5 wins. Vandy's at 2 already. Hawaii, who they put last week?
I'll remember.
Their over under was 3.5.
I think, right?
That was last year. I don't know what it was this year. I think they bumped it up. I would like to say.
Alabama A&M. Okay, yeah. But
When?
took care of business. They won.
Head coach was a fullback.
Hawaii, Alabama A&M. They have Wake Forest. They're at UNLV. And they start the SEC gauntlet. We'll see what happens
Like,
there.
Yeah.
This might go down
Yeah.
real quick.
Really quick.
Get him while you
And
can.
then It's like 10 straight SEC games.
Get your cookies
No
now.
break in there.
Sold out.
If you like our bets, we're gonna post them. We're gonna put them on socials. We're gonna get Jack to post them and put our lines. Like Jack's had his bets in there.
He's a gambling
Jack,
man.
listen to me. Jack, what you can count on from Jack is him taking the against other teams in the SEC. Like
Really?
if they're enemies of LSU, they're going against them. He has Texas money line, and he's got Tulane plus 7.5. And that's not really going against. Obviously,
right.
but that's kind of devaluing. I think the Ole Miss
He's
team.
betting as a fan, and I feel.
Yeah, he took Colorado minus 2.5. Okay, so those are Jack's picks.
Not
we'll
as
get
a
him to
gambler.
pick.
Huh? Is it?
Not as a gambler,
no,
but
yeah.
betting as a
No,
fan.
Yeah, as a fan.
All of our gambling picks are brought to you by our friends at FCO Development. FCO Development's a civil construction company down in Lafayette, Louisiana. They specialize
And gambling.
in gambling, probably.
He seems to sling some money around.
Actually, I know they do.
Yeah, I know he
They
does,
enjoy
too.
they enjoy dabbling. They enjoy dabbling in the gambling world. They also enjoy dabbling in the civil construction world, and they do a really good job at site drainage, site utilities, house pads, ponds, demo work, hurricane cleanup. If that's anything that's a service that you may be able to use, give them a call at 337-534-4675. Again, that number is 337-534-4675. Great people, and tell them that we sent you. We've been
You wanna
going
bet on
straight
what
up,
time it
boys. Like no
starts to rain?
commercials, just going right after this thing. I love it.
I bet it rains at 2:12.
It's Freaky Friday. So what?
She gone. Yeah.
What happened?
Lila's knocked out.
It's supposed to rain in 3 minutes.
That's what I'm just looking at the weather. If anybody wants to take a time.
But it's looked pretty gnarly out there for a little while now.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit NFL.
All right.
Let's talk it.
$2.12 for $1.
You said $2.12 for $5.
Get $5. Didn't know it was open. It's Renato's birthday.
It's your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday.
I'm excited. I'm
I do have a 5-leg
you guys didn't know.
parlay.
If you guys just tuned into the show, it's my birthday.
Here's the deal. NFL football more so than college, but sometimes I do at college. I make my bets, and then I enjoy putting together like a 6-team parlay.
I got a 6-legger for college football.
Oh, what do you got? But
6 legs in the NFL is
tough to hit. I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's hard.
You might do that once.
NFL betting is so hard in general.
It's so hard.
Makes me so mad.
It's so hard.
That's why when he said 6, I'm like, boy, that's a lot
Anytime,
of legs in NFL
I actually
football.
I have
It's college. If you can hit 3, if you get 3,
I have a theory. Anytime that there's a double-digit spread in the NFL, I take the lesser side of the double digit. So like, if they're playing the Texans and they stink and they're 2-11, and then it's like, oh, the Bengals are favored by 11 points. Every time I take Texans, because it's the NFL. Like, you don't usually get that, sometimes. Yeah. But last year, I feel like every time it was like that team that was underdogs were covering. So let me see it. What's your 6-leg parlay in college football? You failed to mention that when we were talking about all the bets.
I know. Hold on, let me find it again.
Okay. Well, let's talk about football, NFL. I'm trying to see if there's any that's like, obviously the Tennessee at New Orleans. That one hits home for us because that is.
All right, here we go. College football, before we move on to the NFL. Kansas Jayhawks money line against the Fighting Illini. Vanderbilt plus 10 against Wake Forest. Under 47, Utah and Baylor. Oh, shit, I just did it again. How does that happen?
What are you doing?
Oh, here we go. I'm just trying to do it left-handed. Iowa and Iowa State. I got Iowa money line. Texas A&M against Miami. I got Texas A&M. And UCF, who I love.
Texas A&M money line?
Yeah. And UCF money line against the Broncos.
Who's the quarterback at UCF now? Is it still? It's not Gabriel still.
It's Plumlee.
Oh, yeah. John Rice.
Who is a stud. They love him.
Yeah.
But that's the 6-leggers. UCF.
What's the odds?
It is plus 2091.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like those odds.
Love to hit it.
Yeah, basically plus 2,100.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that puts a bow on our college football.
I'm gonna dabble. I'm gonna have a 6-leg or 2 with you. Maybe not the same one, but I'm gonna have one with you.
Yeah. LSU line wasn't available.
Yeah, LSU's line is not available.
Would even risk it. Troy.
What's the line gonna be? 55 points.
Troy 20.
What do you think that line would come out? 50?
56.
The
50.
line?
I don't know. It'd be 56.
Probably,
48.
I was going to say like 42.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Points. 45 maybe.
Yeah.
For the line?
55.
No,
Would you say 58?
I said 56.
Yeah.
It would be probably between 35 and 42.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
If it's 35, I would hammer it.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I'm right there with you on that.
I mean, the highest spread, the point spread in week 1 for the NFL is Baltimore minus 9.5 against the Texans.
Not quite
Don't
double
sleep
digits.
on the Texans. Not double digits, but Texas played teams very close last year.
But if you are a daily fantasy guy, you should probably hammer
212.
Lamar in this
Rain.
one.
Boom.
Wow.
Love that.
I'll owe you
Hey.
$5.
Yeah.
You heard me? If you are a daily fantasy guy, you should probably hammer Lamar in this one. Ravens against
I
Houston.
got it.
Okay.
I like Lamar.
Do you,
He's probably
do you
very.
do daily fantasy?
I don't.
I
but know a
do.
lot of
He's
people do.
probably very expensive though.
Yeah.
It's what he'd be very expensive.
Yeah.
yeah.
He'll probably be the high. He'll probably be the most expensive quarterback in daily fantasy.
I've wanted to do it in basketball and I never did it this year.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
my favorite thing to do. It's
I know,
my
I
favorite
gotta
thing to do week to week, especially
Nice.
fantasy football wise.
I bet you it would be better for football because you just said it once a week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing with basketball. I was like, I'd forget and the games would start and I was like, oh shit,
It's over. Missed it.
it's over.
All right, so Bengals are -2 at the Browns. Saints are -3 at home.
They're on the road.
No, Saints are at home.
They're at home to start the year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they were on the road.
When they play Sunday?
Play Sunday at noon at home.
Big sports podcast.
Not a division opponent, which has been rare the last few years. I feel like the last few years you always open with division. This year, Carolina's playing at Atlanta. That's the division matchup to open the season.
So who do the Saints have? Sorry.
Tennessee at New Orleans -3. I can't go into the season betting against the Saints first game. I'm taking the Saints -3.
I would take them.
I know taking Tennessee +3 doesn't mean you're betting against the Saints, but I think I like the Saints.
I would take the Saints, and Tennessee's scary, man.
They are.
Yeah, they're such. I mean, they always
Over
have a
under
defense.
41.5.
Yeah, that should tell you to take Tennessee.
What's the reasoning there?
Well,
what's your logic?
I don't
on
know.
that?
Because
Low scoring game.
You can't say that though, because the over under of the game last night would have told you, hey, take Kansas City.
That's true.
Yeah, so like he
Against
says
a
that
53.
because Mike Vrabel's the head coach at Tennessee. They're a physical team. They play good defense for the most part, and they run the football right down their throat with Derrick Henry, right? So if it's a low-scoring game, you'd imagine that it's going to be not as many possessions, grind the clock out. Team that's got a better running game, will have the advantage. So I get that. I think that, and look, I'm optimistic, Mikey. I think that the LSU Saints offense is going to be a lot better than people think that it's going to be. I think people think the potential's there, but I think that they're a lot more ready to perform than people probably think. I think. So I'm taking Saints -3.
Which in this game could literally just be to a tune of a 28-point score.
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be
Right.
much in this game,
Right. I like Steelers +2.5.
Ooh, I'm starting to like Steelers a lot more people think in this one. I really do too.
Who they got?
They opened the season with
San
Fran
Fran
coming to them.
Ooh.
San Francisco going cross country.
I don't know how
to
much time you're
Pittsburgh.
going to get out of Nick Bosa in this game. Like he's going to play, obviously, but how much?
I like what Pittsburgh's been. I like Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's progressed a lot throughout the course of the year. I like the receivers they got there in Pittsburgh. Obviously, Najee in the backfield is really good, and they're always going to play good defense.
If they didn't have the OC,
And you got
that
Mike
they
Tomlin,
had,
dude.
I would be 100%.
I hate their OC. How is he still there? How is Matt
I would be
Canada
on
still
that train a lot.
Oh, so they have a bad OC?
Oh, Matt Canada.
He used to be here.
He used to be here.
Really? And he's there?
Or snoozing on Air Canada.
Air Canada. Motion Canada.
You mean lateral Canada?
Yeah, reverse Canada.
They love him this year.
Jet
do
sweep
they?
Canada.
Who told you they love him?
The pundits in Pittsburgh. He's unlocked Kenny Pickett.
The boys in the Berg.
The beat writers?
Kenny Pickett
You've been
did play
reading a lot?
well
I
last
like
year.
Kenny Pickett. Everybody shits on me here.
I love Kenny Pickett.
In the card world, people like him too, and I'm like, everybody here is like, nah, he sucks. Like,
Because
at the
it's
shop.
an easy
Tiny
narrative.
hands.
Tiny small hands. He's an older guy. Was at Pittsburgh for a while. Only had one really good year at Pittsburgh.
Right.
And then he kind of took that helium and got drafted in the first round. Only quarterback in the first round that year. I think he got put on a really good team, a really good organization. Tomlin's going to always has these boys competitive. Like, has Tomlin still not had a losing record?
Nope. Not one.
Crazy.
Hasn't had a losing year.
And they say that. I don't.
And last year was the year they should have had, or the year before that. Like, the last 2 years,
No,
like,
it should have been last year. If there was any year for him
yep.
to have a losing record, it was 100% last year, and they still found a way not to do it.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
I like.
And it's been a trend, I think, since 2017 that every single one of the first round quarterbacks since 2017 in year 2 has like huge jump. Boom. There's only one first round quarterback last year, and it was Kenny Pickett.
I'm buying some Kenny Pickett cards too.
So
There you go.
I do think there's a chance of
That's
being
my
pretty,
gamble
pretty
too.
good this year.
Yeah.
I like the Pittsburgh +2.5. I also like the Commanders -7.
Against who?
The Cardinals, bro. Too much shit going around the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Is
They're
Sam
tanking.
Howell legit? Yeah, people are.
I like Sam Howell.
Again,
I mean, I don't know how legit, but I think he's good. I think he's
learned
good.
about football players through the card market, right?
Yeah.
And the way that cards spike and people
His is spiking right now?
Dude, it's crazy.
He's.
Just a
I'm
lot of-
interested to see what they do.
Me too.
It's a lot of people taking risks on him. So, like, right in the card world, like, you shell out some money on people you think are going to have breakout years or whose potential, maybe whatever. And so people are going nuts on him, yeah.
I like him. I think he's good. I think
I'm
they got
very
good
interested to
receivers
see
over
what
there.
they do. There's always in the NFL. There's always something about like just the team that doesn't get talked about, and somehow, some way, they're always in the fight that year.
Well, it just feels like it's two franchises that are going the exact opposite direction, right? Like the Commanders get new ownership, get a new offensive coordinator. There's momentum there, and then you have the Arizona Cardinals who have no fucking clue.
Complete opposite.
Like it legitimately feels like that. If y'all know, I know y'all think that teams don't tank. Cardinals are close.
No, the Cardinals front office literally is saying, "Hey, this is what tanking looks like."
Yeah.
Like, the front office is saying, "This
That's
is
hard.
what
That's
tanking
hard
looks
for me to get on board with.
The front office, I'm saying.
Yes.
Not
And
once you
Jeff
get down to
Gannon
the-
is like
Not once we get
cosplaying.
down to the field and on the sideline.
That head coach is an absolute. I mean, he could make me eat my words. He's not going to hear this, but that guy, pew pew pew, explosives, like he's like Michael Scott as a head coach. Where it's like, dude, who do you think you're talking to? Then the Arizona Cardinals put out like a hype trailer that they're doing an end season, and he's talking to you. Take the bus or did you take a car? And everyone's like, I don't know what you're asking me. Like, did you take a bus here or did you drive here? And they like didn't get an answer. He's like, what is that? What's the difference? What does that mean? Like, did we come here together or separately? I don't get the analogy.
I don't get that either.
He
Why are
confused
you
his whole
asking?
team by trying to fire him up. And then it feels like that message is falling on deaf ears
Yeah.
to the point that it seems like they're taking so much. Caleb Williams has come out and said, I don't have to go to the draft next year. I'll come back.
To
and
me,
play
that's
again."
bullshit.
Well,
I
of course.
saw that. That was wild. And his
Hey,
dad. Like,
Can we just talk about this too really quickly? Since y'all bring up Caleb Williams,
there you go.
his dad came out and
that's
said
what I was saying.
that the NFL model is all backwards.
It was
I
the-
go, so we are so far already, like this quick. We've gotten so deep into the NIL and the
player
portal, and the
empowerment.
portal and the player empowerment thing that we think that basically having a draft set up to have some
Parity.
some parity around the league
was the
is
word
the
that he used,
backwards
too,
way
yeah.
to do this thing. Are you crazy, my guy?
So you're saying that the best player should go to the best team? Is that what you're saying?
No,
what?
I'm sure he's thinking it should be a free market. Whoever has
Right. The most
but
or the right money.
they're
right
going to
no.
take that way too.
No,
Like
not
the-
when you're coming. No,
Yeah.
Dad.
The draft is
If
set
you
up
wanna do it-
specifically
if
to
you want
keep
to do
the
it in a
NFL
way where
competitive.
like the NBA does it now, baseball does it with the lottery. I think the NFL does it fine.
It's the
Hey,
most
listen-
competitive league in the world.
You listen to me. It only takes a quarterback who's competent, like a really good one, right? If you want to draft him first overall, a really good quarterback, surround him with some guys to make. Joe Burrow did it.
Joe
I said
Burrow.
2 years ago, 3
Yeah,
years
Joe
ago.
Burrow
Joe
that
Burrow
was
did
the
it.
laughing
Hey,
stock of the league.
Andrew Luck did it. Now Andrew Luck fell into a really good situation because they had a good team surrounding Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning left. They used it. I think was it Brissett, Jacoby Brissett.
No, he came in right after. He started as a rookie. Andrew, it went
I
straight
know,
from Peyton Manning.
but there was a gap. There's a year. Who started the year between Peyton and Andrew Luck?
I'm pretty
Curtis
sure.
Painter.
Oh, when they tanked? Yeah,
That's what-
it was
yeah.
Curtis Painter.
Yeah, so that's Curtis Painter. So then I think they were 2 and
Never even heard that
14.
human's name.
They draft Andrew Luck, generational quarterback, has all the talent around him. You're gonna plug back in there and boom. It's like. So what they're saying is bullshit. Like that's just
listen.
saying, hey, you know what? We don't want like.
As a dad, I would love to be able to put my son in every advantageous situation that there possibly could be for him to go out and have success. That's just not the rule.
That's like Eli. Eli and them didn't want to play for San Diego.
Yeah, and your comments aren't going to change it either. Yeah.
I would much rather you just say I don't want my son to go play for.
Yeah.
That's what Eli and them did. That's what the Mannings did.
And I'm okay with you
That's
saying
how he
that,
ended
as
up in New
opposed to
York.
you saying that league has
Yeah.
their motto
Right,
backwards. You're
right,
crazy,
right,
man.
right.
You're
Hey,
crazy.
bro.
Now I'm going to draft him
This is
even
the
harder.
biggest. This is one of the biggest businesses in the world.
Yeah.
You think we don't have this thing right?
It's
Yeah,
the
we're
most
good.
Save it,
exclusive
buddy.
boys club in the world. I'm pretty sure they're running a pretty good business model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
save it.
and that's probably part of the pushback where it's very obvious what you have 32 guys that you're not going to change their mind, and that's probably what's upsetting. Is like they're stuck in this old mentality of how they're thinking about it. It's like it works. Why change it? Look at where we are. Yeah. It's and it's also like it's a privilege to play in the NFL. It doesn't matter what team picks you.
Yeah.
Be
You don't
excited
have to,
that
I
you-
promise
Exactly,
you.
right.
It'll
Yeah, yeah. No
it'll
one's
still
forcing
be a
you.
profitable business next year
Yeah,
if you really
without
don't
you.
want to be.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
It'll be fine.
Or you go be John Elway and pick up a baseball. That's your only leverage.
That's true. That's what
Kyler
Kyler Murray
Murray?
did.
He still don't, now he don't want to play football anymore.
He said that. It just
Hurt.
seems like it.
He's hurt.
He didn't like Cliff Kingsbury.
I don't think.
Now they're coming up and they're trying to spin the narrative now, saying, hey, it wasn't that the Cardinals didn't like Kyler. They were always drafting Kyler. They just thought that after they drafted Kyler, that Cliff Kingsbury was the perfect guy for Kyler. Ended up not being the case. That's why Kingsbury gets fired. I don't know, when your quarterback's not really watching film and you got to put that clause in there and he doesn't seem very
And you
active,
get it
that's
taken
tough.
out.
It's tough to blame it on someone else.
Josh Rosen was the answer. the
Kyler
Rosen
might
one.
be- Kyler might be out the door too after this year.
gonna
Oh,
miss on-
1,000%.
They're going to miss on 2 quarterbacks in the first round. That's not good.
Back-to-back years.
That's not good.
Kyler was good. Just
Josh Rosen wasn't back-to-back.
yeah, they moved on after. Did they move on after 1 year? That was
they,
the
they
thing.
drafted Rosen?
Yeah, but I thought Rosen was there, like not there, but like got drafted and then was there for a couple years in between.
I just,
Maybe,
I
could be
just
wrong.
remember that it was pretty close because they're already going
It
to
was
move
pretty
on.
quickly,
Yeah, it might have been 2 years.
It
I
might
could be
have
wrong.
been too.
I could be wrong. Those are my 3 games that are like intriguing to me. Obviously, I'm gonna do some more, but like we can't sit here all day and talk about every game. In the
So you're
betting
going
world.
Cardinals. I mean, not Cardinals. You're going
Saints.
I'm going Saints -3. I like the Steelers +2.5, and I like
wherever the Cardinals are playing.
Cardinals are playing at Washington -7. I think.
That's a teaser right there.
I like Washington -7. There's some other ones I like too, but we're gonna get into that.
If Arizona wins, people are gonna be shocked.
Oh, dude, no doubt. All right, let's get to what else you want to talk about today, boys?
If Arizona wins, that'll go right into my curtain call today.
Giants, Cowboys Sunday night. Who do you got? Quick winners. I'm gonna take a money.
Cowboys.
I got the Giants.
I kind of got the
It's
Giants.
in New York,
too.
isn't it? I got Cowboys.
I got the Giants. I think
Cowboys are
Danny
3-0
Dimes,
and-
baby.
Yeah.
Saquon's back. Danny Dimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Darren
I like-
Waller's there.
I love it all.
Did Daniel Jones get his contract? He did? Yeah.
40 million plus.
Yep. Danny Dimes ready to go. Saquon's ready to go. Darren Waller's there.
I'm sticking with my theme, the non-talked about teams.
I don't disagree with you. I'm on the Giants for that one.
The Cowboys are 3-0 in openers the last 3 years.
Huh?
Due for a loss.
There you go. That's one way to look at it. They're 3-0 in their last 3 season openers or something like that.
I also think they've won.
The Cowboys.
Hey, don't quote me on this.
Dak hasn't lost an opener, right?
That's what it is. It's
something
Dak.
like that. Yeah.
Don't quote me on this too, but I think the Cowboys are also 10-0 in their last 10 against the Giants.
Giants.
Against the Giants, yeah. That number that's a lot.
Also due for
It's
one.
like that's what I mean. That's what
All
I'm
that
saying.
means is
yeah.
going.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
me.
I would be
pushing
betting it.
hard.
I probably would have bet it after 4 or 5 and been like, it's about time
Yeah.
that they're gonna win. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hammering it, doubling it every
Exactly,
time.
every time. I'd be in a dark place right now.
And then
probably.
this is when you switch it and finally goes your way.
exactly.
Like, I'm not gambling anymore.
Yeah, I'd be done. I'd be
taking the
living on
under.
the streets.
Under in that game. Mike McCarthy's such a loser.
Jeez, that was aggressive.
Well,
Good guy.
Who?
Man's got
I
one
mean,
coach
he
for the
did win a
Cowboys.
Super Bowl. It's not that
I
much.
think
of a
Rodgers
loser.
won him a Super Bowl.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, man.
I
You
could
are
have
who
coached
your
that
quarterback
team.
is.
I think Brady won Belichick a couple when he still got some. So
Well, he's got more than one.
He's got a lot of them.
McCarthy's just got that one on that fat finger. Can't get it all.
Who won the Super Bowl? And was it Sean Payton or was it Drew? I think that's a perfect combo.
That was sex. Yeah, that was a marriage. that was very consensual.
wait, so name me another loser who's got one.
Oh, I'd have to think about it. Let me think about it. Oh, Ron Rivera would be a loser that had one, but he didn't do it.
He hates Ron Rivera.
You don't. Riverboat Ron? I like Ron Rivera.
Players
That
love
nickname
him.
makes no sense for
He
him.
seems like he would be a player's.
He liked to
Players
gamble. He liked
love
to gamble
him,
on the
but Lloyd
field.
hates him.
Maybe on the game. He literally has a 500 record.
Lloyd, why do you hate
Well,
Ron?
Riverboat Ron, he goes for it. He used to go for it before everybody else went for it.
Yeah,
You know
which
what
is
I mean?
like once every 6 months. Who else do Jason Garrett. I think he was.
I don't like Jason
I
Garrett.
mean, yeah,
I
he's,
can get on board
he's
with that.
literally the quintessential company guy.
God, did you hear him in the booth?
No, I try to not listen.
It sounds like listening to a commercial for football while you're watching a live football game.
That's incredible.
He doesn't really do it for me on the exciting meter.
On the exciting meter.
All right. I guess that's it.
Mistake.
I think we should go to the Seggies now.
Give me a mistake of the day.
Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place. Lloyd, what do you got for me for the mistake of the day?
I was looking up these coaches. That's a fun question of who I think shouldn't deserve a Super Bowl but has one. The mistake of the day.
Who was the coach in Baltimore? When Trent Dilfer was a quarterback, because Trent Dilfer as a quarterback didn't deserve one either.
I was thinking that name. I was wondering if he was going to say it at all, but I was thinking Trent earlier. Obviously, that's not a coach, but
Right.
that name came to mind.
God, what's his? I can see his dumb hair. Hold on. I can't find it.
Just go to Baltimore Ravens 2000 Super Bowl champs.
Who's more of a
2001.
benefactor? Trent
Brian
Dilfer?
Billick.
Oh, Billick was the guy.
Brian Billick.
Hey, who's more of the benefactor, Trent Dilfer or Joe Flacco?
Flacco carried that thing in the Super Bowl, in that playoff run.
Did he?
Yeah, Flacco.
Yeah,
in playoff,
he played awesome.
Playoff Flacco was good. Regular season Flacco, not great.
Defense was still
Defense was great.
Defense was
was
solid.
great.
But their one,
the lights. It was the lights.
it was the lights. And
It was the lights.
It was. God, that was that year.
That was the lights.
John
in the
Gruden can
Superdome.
be a fraud. All right.
I'm actually impressed by our recollection. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Football show.
Football show. All right, Mistake of the Day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Play. Oh, this girl's struggling with her umbrella. Oh, she fixed it. That was a.
She
Did you
did-
see?
she- whoa.
Did
I
you
can't-
see that?
no, I missed it.
The wind took the umbrella inside out. She instantly pulled that thing back down. Probably a second later. Like
That was
she
that
was
was
not
anger.
rattled.
She's
that was
strong.
great poise by that.
Yeah.
Great poise by her. She's struggling right now though.
It could have been the mistake of
This
the
weather
day,
looks nasty.
but it's not. The mistake of the day belongs to a team we were just talking about, and the Dallas Cowboys. They have decided to create AI
clone
of Jerry Jones. So he will now be the owner of the Cowboys forever. It's literally an AI. You can pay $33 to ask him a question. Any
thought it was
question.
$55.
$55. I'm sure you can play in crypto or what have you. But this is the video. I mean, there's audio to it if you want to hear it, but it is just the most bizarre thing you have ever seen. And the commercial that they filmed for it, everything around it is weird.
So I haven't done a lot of research on this. So they can ask him questions, not scripted questions, any questions. This AI clone
Answers it?
and does he answer it like Jerry Jones? Like, is there answer? Is there like is there like default answers for him to answer? Like does AI answer it how Jerry Jones they would think?
No,
Jerry
they
Jones
also
would
installed Chat GPT in there.
Because
That's
boy,
what,
that
that's
could
what
be-
that's what I would imagine is it's a like learned program where it'll probably give you more than stock answers and learn from the questions it's been getting. So you could probably hack this thing and make
They
it
probably
hilarious.
I'll say, what if
Right?
it
Like, I'll
goes
pay
down that
$5.
road of like, oh, Jerry back at like so Jerry.
You know
has
Jerry
some
Jones'
controversy-
past?
controversial things.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be
They
interesting.
probably made the system up of like 1,000 Jerry Jones responses, and
Right.
kind of let that be the cultivation of how they respond.
Interesting to see how this works.
Like Woody in Toy Story.
Or he's got
pull
the
a string.
Neuralink chip, and they've just been coating his brain for ever since.
We're getting down.
Elon,
We're going down this path.
Or Salt.
Huh?
I like it.
And Hard Knocks, he eats like an Egg McMuffin every morning, and this man put the amount of salt that you shouldn't have in a day on this thing, and couldn't be happier. Just
Who is this?
Jerry Jones.
Oh wow,
It was impressive. Sodium level was through the roof.
Yeah, it was.
that's incredible.
He's still kicking.
Still alive, I
Still
guess.
alive.
We think.
Kicking. It's.
Now he's alive twice.
I know this is a mistake of the day for you, and I get it. I think it's a little early. Like we don't know. Maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it's a huge mistake.
They
But
haven't won the Super Bowl since the 90s.
yeah, but
they're kinda waiting for him to
he's
kinda
the
hit
greatest promoter of all
Maybe
time.
that's the guy that they're bringing back. 90s Jerry Jones.
Now we're talking.
That's who
what
should
it
be
is.
answering the questions.
Right?
90s Jerry Jones.
I want Michael Irvin.
Yeah, get Don Shula in there.
They're actually just
You
gonna
want
create-
2000s Michael Irvin? Which Michael you want?
I think it hadn't changed a whole lot.
Just change a little bit for the better.
But yeah, that's my
get Jimmy.
mistake of the day.
Make a clone of Jimmy Johnson.
That's what he needs.
Let Jimmy Johnson tell you how they want it. I mean, they won it because they had Michael Irvin, they had Troy Aikman, they had Emmitt Smith, they had a bunch of people that were really
Offensive line
good.
was pretty good.
They had very good.
Leon let
very
it
good
go.
teams. A lot of Hall of Famers on that team.
Yeah.
That's probably why they won it. That's what happens. You put a lot of Hall of Famers in one spot, and they all like each other. Usually, you win.
Troy
games.
Aikman's numbers are hilarious when you look at them. Like, not good.
No.
Hall
Well,
of
back,
Famer.
it's a different game back then.
I know. Same
Different
thing for
game.
Terry Bradshaw. But,
Huh?
Like Terry Bradshaw's numbers, when you look at it, like the game has changed so much, and they're revered as like the
He
best
was a
quarterback.
thrower back then. Like he
Yeah.
was like.
He threw a ton of picks.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
went to 5-0 in Super Bowls.
Yep.
Went 5 times, won 5.
That's part of why he's in
That's pretty
So
badass.
Louisiana,
Mystique, yeah.
Louisiana grit.
All right. Have to get a mistake today. Curtain Call is brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. What we got? You got a curtain call?
Yeah, my curtain call is going to go to the NFL script. Got you, man.
You saw they did a commercial on it last night?
They kept running it during the game last night, and I thought it was pretty funny. You know, NFL is back, and Patrick Mahomes is in the house, and he's live and direct on game one, and they take the big L.
I'm not gonna lie. When Goff threw the ball on 4th down, and like he could have just ran left for the. I know he doesn't run, but I'm like, this is scripted. Like this is Mahomes didn't come on the field with 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I was like, they've been joking about this, but this is a real script. Like, and then Tony.
Yeah, then they couldn't do anything. Got sacked, and then it was just
Tony
not.
missed that 30, whatever. That would have.
I live bet
Well-
right when that happened.
Did you?
Yeah, I took
When-
the Chiefs. I lost our.
The one that bounced out of his hand.
No,
or
like,
the
when
fourth
the
down
Chiefs
where-
are coming back on the field, I live bet Because I was
love
like,
that movie. I
right
thought
after
the same
that,
thing,
I was
yeah.
like, this. I've seen the script before. I've read this movie.
I-
Yeah.
I don't know who
was
he's throwing it
sneaky-
to. But
Sneaky
I've
on
seen the
4th
script.
and like 25 when he threw that. Sneaky had a chance. It got
Smart
through,
to go for it, too.
It was right there. Was it? I guess, yeah. You either score or kick the field goal. Because if they scored, they had to go for 2 to make it a 2-score game. So
Right.
they still had an opportunity.
Somebody
Somebody
missed that pass though. That would have put it was like the first throw or second throw of that drive.
Yeah.
It would have put him at like the 50 or
yeah.
something, or like
Yeah.
the right on the other side of the 50. It was like you would have been fine.
Somebody
It
said
was Tony. It was behind. He
It
threw a
was,
little
'cause
behind.
he-
He still got
he,
catch.
like,
That's right.
He tried to like turn around, but he was wide open. Like that was not.
He had a tough game.
Yeah.
that could have been the mistake of the day.
I had Sky Moore over the yards. Couldn't have been further away.
He got one target.
He got 0.5 points in fantasy, so which means he probably had 5 yards.
And somebody was saying
And on a rush,
on that
not
fourth
on a
and-
reception.
on that 4th and 25 or whatever, he should have run back and ran out of bounds at the 9. So you put them in a 1st and goal where they can't get a first down. If they score a touchdown,
Okay,
you still
that's-
have a chance to win.
That is very.
and
I
you
mean,
use all your timeouts if you hold them to a field goal.
That's
big brain football.
that's after the fact football. It's like, okay, this is what we should have done.
this
Like,
Turn and run
if
backwards.
they complete the 4th and 25 and you did that and you didn't get a chance, then okay, you're an idiot. Because now you didn't have a chance to get it. I don't know. I get it.
Because it's
but
the same thing as what they did, just taking it to the extreme.
Yeah, but they had a shot at least to go for it and get
Yeah.
it on 4th and 25. That you don't even give yourself a chance.
But it shows how far, like, even fans have come in analytics where they saw them trot back out on 4th and 25 and there wasn't a lot of people that were, like, tweeting about it or surprised that they were going for it, because now everybody kind of understands how the clock works. And when they had 3 timeouts, whatever, points are points. And if you would have done that in 1995 or even 2005, they'd be like, what the hell are you? Punt the ball and go play defense. And instead, everybody's like, no, I get what they're doing. Go for it on 4th. It's not just because of the Chiefs.
I
it's
still
because
think
it made
punting
sense.
it. Still think punting it.
Well, then they get more than one first down, the game's over regardless.
well,
You run out of
I
timeouts.
like
You
to
only
call
have 3
because
chances.
here's the thing: is if I'm gonna let Patrick Mahomes drive down the field, I'd rather him drive 50 than 80, because then he's gonna run out all the clock.
Right,
too. We
right.
won't get the ball back.
Right.
That's assuming he drives down the field. If you go 3 and out, now you got to.
Well, then
I
that's why
get.
that's why we just
They had to
did
go
punt.
3 and out because of the timeouts. Otherwise, the clock was going to run out. Yeah. So that's why you go for it. Doesn't matter where they start.
Yeah, but field position.
Yeah, but you would just rather it happen faster. It doesn't matter where it happens, because then they're going to punt it, and you have to go do the whole thing again.
I get it. Did you have? That was your curtain call. What was your curtain call?
No, my curtain call, same game.
Do you have a curtain call? Do you have one? No.
I wasn't prepared.
Neither was
Hey,
I.
relax. We're good. Hey, relax.
Does she not like weather?
She never barked at weather before, ever. This is like I've
Oh.
never seen this.
Lila.
She,
All right.
she's like,
Go ahead. Before
Oh,
she finishes.
my curtain call is to Jawan Taylor, the Chiefs' left tackle, who just seemingly hacked the system where he can start off nearly in the
he
backfield
false start every
false start every play. And if you do it every play, they're just not going to call it. They called it one time.
Great anticipation by this guy.
Yeah, and everybody, it became such a point of emphasis by, like, the booth couldn't stop talking about it. Everybody was tweeting about this because he's literally getting a jump, like, before the pre-snap, where he's able to set, like, pass block and get in a position to where you can't get a rush on Patrick Mahomes. And this is half the reason that the Chiefs got him last year, is because I forget which team he played
His
for.
anticipation.
No, he was doing this, and he did it against the Chiefs. They're like, well, let's just sign him. And
That's
keep
why they
doing
signed
it.
him, just 'cause of
They-
that?
That's what they said. They said
did
they
Really?
looked at it.
talk about that during the
Yes.
game. Yeah.
Because the Chiefs noticed that it happened to them. Like, well, he seems to be good at it, or he gets away with
Like,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna get this guy because he's so good at anticipating snap count. And he never gets away. He gets. I mean, I guess that makes sense because you can't. I mean, in that position.
I mean, if he's getting the jump and you
Yeah,
can't
in
get
that
around the
position,
corner,
that split second's a huge difference.
He was not getting a jump. He was false starting every time.
I know. I mean, it's still a jump on him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely. It's the definition of a jump. Yeah.
they finally called it one time, and they showed
But it
like,
didn't matter.
They showed his face up close, and he was like laughing. He was like, "Ah, come on! I've been doing this for the last 57 plays."
Started that one a little early. But that was insane. The fact that they let that. I mean, it's probably not going to happen for the rest of the year because of how much attention. Standalone game, first night, like, they're going to look at it closer.
Yeah, you're not watching Red Zone trying to
Right.
get it. Like, yeah.
So I think that probably is. Maybe the Chiefs will get away with it again, but if other teams try to do it, I think there's going to be a lot
I
of
think
false
that's where it
starts.
becomes the thing. If that becomes the thing, and they keep letting it, but if as long as it's just kind of him, I don't know. He got away with it last year. It was part of where why he is where he is right now. You never know.
We'll see.
That's
a good one.
crazy. But good for him.
It's basically the bulk move.
My curtain.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right. My curtain call is. My curtain call is to There's two of them. One, the low-hanging fruit. My current call is Joe Burrow for being rich and being the richest person in the history of the NFL. And not only is being rich, but hey, I signed a 5-year deal. I'm gonna sign another big one in 5 more years. So like, he's gonna have a lot of money. Maybe when it's all said and done, he may have the most money ever made in the NFL based off of the contracts and how the contracts are starting to go and the salary cap getting higher. So that's my curtain call. And
his fiance for locking that thing up before the contract. Shout out to her.
Shout out
Ultimatum.
to her. Shout out to her. Well, she's not married. Doesn't count.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Doesn't
But
count. Engaged.
So gotta get that ring.
Taking that right. Taking the
She
right
got the
step.
ring. She got that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got that ring.
She's got to get to the altar now.
You gotta get there.
You got to make it to the altar.
I think it seems like they're gonna make it
seems like
there.
they're on the path.
Yeah, it seems like they're gonna make it there. She battled through probably some adversity all the way through.
I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
knee injury.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta let a man be a boy grow into a man, you know.
Yeah, she battled through it. She stuck with him.
That's what I'm saying. You stick with him.
Yeah.
You know, his injury history.
Yep.
Resilient bunch.
Yep. A lot of the fans coming at him. She was there for that. I'm
Notoriety.
sure she was getting some of that.
I'm sure.
I mean, he goes from not famous to
But
very
she saw
famous.
this day.
She saw this coming.
What?
The
She
wedding day.
envisioned
I mean,
this
the wedding
happening.
day. I mean the wedding day, not the contract day. The wedding day. That's
Yeah,
what
she envisioned the wedding from since the moment she met him.
While he was throwing the football in the schoolyard, she was thinking about the wedding at recess.
She saw this when he was throwing it at U High. Like, yep.
Yep. In Ohio, we're gonna move to Baton Rouge. I can see it. And I was gonna take us to the promised land.
By the way,
probably gonna be his best man.
Hey, sidebar. I saw a ridiculous tweet the other day. Somebody posted like the 2 richest players in the league both were Ohio State players. I'm like,
Jack didn't like that.
Jack,
get off of that,
I didn't
please?
like that.
I didn't like that either. But that guy's doing it on purpose.
I know that's why I didn't give him the mistake of the day. I wanted to.
He's
but-
saying that the 2 richest players in the NFL are Joe Burrow and Bosa. Both are Ohio State people. I'm like, well, not really. That's not how.
That's what I was going to ask the other guy. I figured it was Bosa, but I
Yeah,
didn't
Joey
know.
Bosa, you can have him.
no, Nick.
Sam Block.
I mean, Nick Bosa, you can have him. Well, both Bosas. But
Bosas, yeah.
Nick Bosa, you
Both
can
of
have
them,
him.
really, yeah.
Joe Burrow can't have him because he didn't play for you. Didn't. He was on the team.
No,
Great.
literally,
He's
he
an LSU
didn't
guy.
take a single.
He did not take a single snap for you.
That's
So-
that's like the Michigan State people coming back being like, look at Keon Coleman, just do it.
Yeah, right.
No,
Right.
he wasn't doing that like that.
No.
I mean, he played like probably 10 snaps at Ohio State in garbage time.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing worse.
Yeah, shout out to Sam Block. He actually found a picture of Joey Burrow on the field for Ohio State. I'm sure that took a minute.
It was probably page 12 or 11,
Yeah.
12, 13, 14.
God damn
on
it, where
Google
is
search.
he?
Had to go into the archives for that.
And then
Yeah.
all Jack had to do was pull up Sunday Night Football, Joe Burrow, LSU. I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. If Joe
That was
Burrow
on
doesn't,
page 1.
if Joe Burrow doesn't claim Ohio State, it's hard for you to claim Ohio State. He claims Ohio,
Yeah.
like the state.
I'm pretty sure if you Google Joe Burrow, one LSU picture would come up on page 1. I would imagine.
The first one.
I would imagine 99%.
Well,
of those-
actually,
Well, the
First
Bengals,
Bengals,
there's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
Bengals that are recent, but I'm saying like I guarantee there's still a big article that's still big enough that it's gonna come up on.
no
page
doubt.
1.
Yeah.
No doubt.
He's an LSU guy. Are you looking?
LSU.
That is
and him taking batting.
that's my curtain call.
Taking
Also,
batting
other
practice.
small curtain call to ESPN for changing up their format and getting different personalities. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Game day you talking about?
Well,
Or-
game day and the Pat
Well-
McAfee show actually being on ESPN every day now.
Wow, they went all in on him.
And they did. And so that was the whole part of the whole thing. That's why they wanted to buy his show or partner with him. I don't think they bought his show, but like partner with him to where from 11 to 1 every day on ESPN, he is his show is
Syndicated
live
on
ESPN.
television.
Uncensored except for the F word. Can't say the F word.
He
That's
can
it.
curse every other word.
I mean, yeah, but he's not going to.
Yeah, but he can
But-
say shit if it slips or something.
That's exactly
yeah.
that was the exact example he said. I could say shit.
Wow.
They have a disclaimer before the show.
Yeah.
And they did it in a very Pat McAfee show way where
Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz is
He does a Lou Holtz voice.
not him, but one of his guys does a Lou Holtz voice and reads the disclaimer, and
That's incredible.
it's written in very
Yeah.
comedic
Right.
tone.
Right.
And so shout out to ESPN for trying to change
younger.
the way
And
you
at the
look
end of
at
it
it.
says, "P.S. Don't sue me."
Yeah,
Brett.
so it's great. They're letting them do it, and I think this is a good thing for ESPN.
Yeah, that's
look,
awesome.
people are going
It's
to
a
have
good
to
thing
get
for mainstream TV.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to get used to him. He's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it, but not everybody is everybody's cup of tea. And
he's-
once you realize his jokes, you realize his comedy and like kind of where he goes. I think you're gonna enjoy him.
Go look at his If you go look at his viewership, I think he's more of a cup of tea than more people think.
Right.
There's a reason why they said this is the move.
Yeah.
And even if he is cursing and it's not their cup of tea, people are still watching. They're like, man, can you believe this guy?
People love a good train wreck, you know.
That's it.
He said today, he's like, it's crazy because he's like, all these people didn't want to watch me. Now they're watching me in car dealerships, dentist office. Like, I'm on TV. They have to watch me. They can't get away from me.
That's so great.
Can't get away. So shout out to ESPN for doing that. Shout out to them for doing that.
And even bigger shout out to South Park for getting this old ball rolling almost 15 years ago when they said shit on TV like 300 times because they found out it was okay. And then so like, well, how many times? Because another show had said it. And they're like, wait, you can cuss on TV? Because they had been obviously trying to strong arm South Park. And then so they just did a whole episode dedicated to saying shit as many times as they could. And so fast forward to now, set the precedent.
Here we are.
It's great.
Shit's out there now.
Yeah.
Hey, is Shohei Ohtani done for the year? He hasn't been in the line.
Yeah, UCL.
I don't know. But he was still hitting. So I don't know.
Probably just shut up.
I mean, at this point,
is he still MVP if he doesn't play all of September?
I don't know.
I think so.
I'd imagine.
I think so. In the AL, yeah.
NL MVP race is kind of heating up.
NL's
Mookie.
Tight. Yeah, Mookie and Freeman are right on, but Mookie's
Well, so you have 4 candidates, all 4 candidates, 2 of each from each team.
Yeah, that's wild.
Olsen and Acuna, and then Mookie and Freeman.
And Olsen is hot right now. He
also,
hit 3 home
crazy
runs.
thing is first baseman, outfielder, first baseman, outfielder.
Did you see Acuna hit that?
That's how. So first baseman, outfielder, first outfielders are righties. First baseman are lefties.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, it's kind of crazy, like the similarities, but.
Did you see the ball that Acuna hit off of Wainwright twice?
Okay, first of all, Wainwright, I feel bad.
Why did
his numbers 3 and 10 with an 8? Like,
bro, he is so bad. They're trying so hard to get him.
And last year he had a great year, which is crazy to me.
But he should not be. It's September. Get some young guys up. I am the biggest Adam Wainwright fan. I was saying this last night.
Yeah.
I bet against him every time he pitches. Dude, it's a cheat code. He's playing the Braves last night. I didn't take the Braves for 2 runs, but I wanted to take 2 runs in the first inning. But I took one.
He has an 80 ERA.
He's gonna
That ball that he hit was a 2-iron Tiger Woods stinger.
83 miles an hour.
How much?
85.6.
85.6.
I know, but what was the exit velo on the ball?
First pitch of the game.
He goosed it.
Acuna.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I watched it.
85.6.
Yeah. Acuna's going to have almost 100 bags.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he might not win MVP. How crazy
and
is he?
that's
He's
what I'm
gonna have
saying.
30 and 6.
If he goes 40 and 100.
Yeah, he might have 40.
If he goes 40 and 100, 40-40 guy, 40, he's got to win MVP, right?
I think he's got to win MVP. He's been doing it. Not that Mookie wasn't having a great year, but Mookie got hot at the end.
Mookie had an unbelievable August.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He had a great. He batted 500 in August.
Co-MVPs.
Huh?
No.
Who says no?
Me.
What?
Co-MVPs.
No.
Haven't they done that before?
No, we can't do that.
It wasn't.
No, ask Matt Kemp if they did that.
That's true.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's,
Yeah, interesting.
it's going to be good, though. All those teams are going to be in contention. And
hopefully they're in the championship series together, too. And they got a little. Somebody's
No
going to be
doubt.
salty about not winning
No doubt.
the MVP.
Like, all these games in September are going to matter for them because it's going to be, jockeying for position. So, like, they're all going to play. They're not going to sit out. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
Again, we're almost to the best sports month of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
October.
So it's the best.
Major League Baseball has done it once. Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez, and will be co-MVPs.
You were so right.
How long ago is that?
that?
How long ago is that?
It was
1981. 81.
on this day in sports history, 38 years ago in 2017. So
2017 minus 31.
No, 38 years from 2017.
88. Is that right? 78?
I don't know. Who knows? Either way. It happened once. I don't think it's going to happen again.
Before Lloyd knew his own name.
Yeah. Enjoy.
I'm a historian of the game.
Enjoy.
You and Gervais both.
Enjoy week 2 of college football. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're going to the Grambling State LSU game, enjoy that. Have some beers. If you're out there, go try Heineken Silver.
There you go.
Right? Put some on ice. Go get some. Look, Mathern's right across the street from all the tailgating areas. Go out there, get you a couple cases of Heineken Silver, 4% alcohol, 95 calories. Very refreshing, very good, very easy to drink throughout the course of the day. Not going to fill you up, but you're still going to get the same effect that you want. It's going to cool you off. It's going to be a little steamy. Enjoy that, and we appreciate all love and support. We appreciate Anthony for letting us house our show here at Cars and Culture. Please come out and visit Cars and Culture here in Perkins Road throughout the weekend.
Curtin called Anthony for his birthday.
Yeah.
That's what I should have. Boo. I'm the worst. God bless. us.
Kirk called Anthony. It's his birthday tomorrow. If you didn't know, look him up on Venmo.
He's a fan of tennis shoes too. So
Shoes,
sports cards. You could just come spend money in my shop.
Yeah,
too,
that'd be
that's
great. That'd be a
fine.
great birthday present.
Money
for you.
works. Yep.
Absolutely.
all good.
Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch us, we're anywhere you get your pods. Looking forward to giving you more football content as we go. Enjoy your weekend. Try to enjoy the game as responsibly as you can.
Smart. Yep.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend. We love you.
See you Monday.
Peace.
This ESPN deal works with McAfee. You know, I don't know. We'll answer the phone.
I promise you, it's not going to voicemail.
Yeah.
You know, I promise that phone is being answered.
People seem to like that type of humor.
Yeah, that is gonna be answered. But we have a few million viewers that we need to.
Well, we figured out the
so
algorithm.
Please like and subscribe. Yeah, once we figure out the algorithm. Yeah, YouTube experts.
It's over for you fuckers.
Enjoy the weekend, go Tigers. We're gonna post our bets online, on the line, from Jack on Twitter. And if you like them, great. If you not, fade them. We'll talk about it on Monday. Peace.
Peace.